Martial realm sign in. As Blade of Blood Lee Cheon-baek raised his foot, he stomped the ground, leaving a footprint. A person shouted, "The family head is leading the vanguard. Kill all of the Jin family bastards. Everyone attack." In a different scene, the eldest senior looked into the distance and muttered, "Huh?" A warrior broke a soldier's sword with a punch to his neck, while another moved swiftly with his own sword. A third dashed forward, striking everyone in his path. Blade of Blood Lee Cheon-baek shouted, "Show no mercy to the Jin family of Taiyuan." Jin Wee-kyung said, "The time has come." The eldest senior nodded and replied, "Indeed it has." He then thought to himself, it would have been better if that man had shown up a bit later, but I suppose it doesn't matter. In the end, they will most likely step in. He added aloud, "I'll take care of Lee Cheon-baek." Jin Wee-kyung responded, "Do as you wish." He then thought, the Bloodhound, Lee Cheon-baek. He's a transcendent martial master who single-handedly led the Mount Hang Sword sect to the top. How unfortunate. I've always wanted to have a conversation with him. Jin Wee-kyung turned to Wee-peng. "We'll take care of the rest." Wee-peng nodded. "As you wish, my lord." As he handed over his sword, Jin Wee-kyung took it and looked at it quietly. The note on the blade read, "I want to travel the mainland. Use this sword in my stead." Jin Wee-kyung muttered to himself, "I don't even know where the person who's supposed to be our family head is right now. Give me a break. Traveling the mainland? He's done nothing but fool around his entire life. My second brother should have received news regarding our situation by now. I must be the one to protect the Jin family of Taiyuan. I have to emerge victorious." He raised his sword and shouted to the soldiers, "Don't leave a single one of them alive." As Blade of Blood Lee Cheon-baek slashed through his enemies, a soldier screamed, "Ah!" His comrades helped him, grunting in pain. Blade of Blood Lee Cheon-baek suddenly became serious as he spotted Jin Wee-kyung. He thought, "Jin Wee-kyung, you're finally here. I'll make sure to kill you with my own hands." Suddenly, the eldest senior appeared behind him saying, "Oh no, Sword Chi." He looked back in confusion. When did Haid immediately? He attacked with a shout, "Ha!" as he moved quickly, his sword blazing with a crimson aura. Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek thought, "The Blade of Illusion?" The eldest senior said, "It's been a while since I've last heard that name. I assume you're the Bloodhound?" Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek replied, "It's a good thing you're here." He thought to himself, even though I was focused on Jin Wee-kyung, I never expected this man to appear behind me without any presence. He's definitely a martial master. Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek continued, "It's not a bad idea to become the strongest in all of Shaanxi first." The eldest senior responded, "That's a bit impossible for you." Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek said, "You never know until you try." The eldest senior replied, "That's what the weak always say." They failed to realize that nothing will change the inevitable outcome. Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek grinned, "Your words are sharp," and drew his sword, infused with aura. The eldest senior also infused his sword with aura, saying, "I wonder if my words are the only thing that's sharp." He looked at Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek silently and added, "I'll give you the first move." Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek became furious and attacked, but the eldest senior blocked his strike. Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek grunted, trying to cut through, but suddenly thought, "Behind me." He barely managed to block the eldest senior's attack, his wrist trembling with pain. "Erg," he groaned. The eldest senior quickly attacked again, slashing multiple times. Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek tried to block them all. The ground shattered with each blow, and others were hit in the chaos. "Ack!" One soldier cried in pain. Another soldier yelled, "Arg!" as they ran shouting, "Get out of here. We're going to get caught up in their fight. So this is the battle between martial masters." The eldest senior slashed in a slithering pattern, landing a blow on Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek's arm. His hand trembled and he cursed, "Shit, to think my main hand would be the one to get injured." Suddenly, the eldest senior jumped toward him with another slash. Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek used his other hand to block it, shouting, "Fuck!" A loud crack of a bone echoed. Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek's left hand was broken from the block he made against the eldest senior's attack. He cried out in pain, "Ack!" The eldest senior took a deep breath and continued to slash at Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek. He was struck in the leg, torso, shoulder, and chest, each blow causing him to scream, spitting out fluids. "Ah!" The soldiers watching were shocked as they looked at Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek. One soldier shouted, "The leader of the Mount Hang Sword sect has fallen." Another soldier whispered, "Sect leader." A third friend said, "Sect leader." One soldier yelled, "The head elder one." Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek trembled on the ground, panting, "Huff! Huff! Cheek off." He looked up at the eldest senior and asked weakly, "What is it that you want?" The eldest senior remained silent. Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae continued, "I can give you my life, but in exchange, please let my men surrender peacefully. I'll make sure that they seal off our gates for over 100 years. So please, let the Mount Hang Sword sect," the eldest senior interrupted, "refused. What I want is the total annihilation of your sect. I don't want to see a single one of you survive." Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae shouted in disbelief, "Just why?" The eldest senior answered coldly, "Stop playing dumb. If you were the ones who won this battle, you would do the same to us." Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae's voice trembled with emotion. "But the Jin family of Taiyuan were the ones who started this." "My poor son. You killed him." The eldest senior replied, "Ah, Li Seo-gun. Right, that child was the catalyst for this battle." He whispered to Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae, "When you are greeted by the god of death, please ask him this for me. Who was it that really killed Li Seo-gun?" As the eldest senior raised his sword, Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae shouted, "What the hell do you mean by that?" The eldest senior thought to himself, "With that, this battle shall now come to an end. And when everyone is drunk over their victory, a new battle shall be born." He grinned and made his final blow towards Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae. Suddenly, Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae sweated and trembled, feeling nothing. A spear suddenly broke in front of him, leaving him confused. The eldest senior shouted, "Show yourself!" In the distance, Jin Tae-kyung stood atop a boulder. The eldest senior, now confused and shocked, zoomed in with his old eyes toward Jin Tae-kyung. Jin Tae-kyung shouted, "It's me, you shitty geezer." The eldest senior thought to himself, "Jin Tae-kyung? How the hell is he still alive?" Jin Tae-kyung took a deep breath and shouted, "The head elder has betrayed the family." The eldest senior froze in shock. The soldiers, confused, asked, "What is he saying? Who is that bastard?" One soldier said, "Isn't that the third young master?" Another soldier asked, "The head elder did?" One of the soldiers said, "What kind of bullshit is he spouting?" An enemy soldier muttered, "Huh? Is he one of our allies?" Another soldier added, "Isn't he just drunk? Looks like his old habits came back." A fat elder shouted, "That crazy bastard!" An elder retorted, "How dare you disrespect the great head elder?" Vipong, observing the scene, thought to himself, "It seems he's gone mad." Jin Wee-kyung, deep in thought, mused, "The head elder betrayed us. Even if my youngest brother isn't the wisest person out there, he's not the type to come all the way here just to mess around when he should be guarding our rear." Now that I think about it, everything leading up to this battle was strange. A completely healthy Lee Seo-gun was assassinated by some form of poison. Rumors about his death spread unusually fast, and no one really paid attention to the anonymous killer. The head elder, who's usually reclusive, made a rare appearance, and it was because of his cooperation that we made it this far without running into trouble. But what if getting this far was exactly what the head elder wanted? Suddenly, Jin Wee-kyung snapped, "Wan Peng." Wee Peng, startled, responded, "Yes, my lord." Jin Wee-kyung commanded, "Kill the first elder." Wee Peng, shocked, remained silent. One elder shouted, "What?" Another elder said, "Family head?" A fat elder added, "Have you gone insane?" Jin Wee-kyung's tone hardened, "Use everything you've got." Wee Peng nodded. An old elder, sweating, called out, "Family head, what are you doing?" Wee Peng dashed toward the elder with a strike, but his sword was blocked midair. Their blades clashed, and Wee Peng said, "So, you've been hiding your martial arts this whole time." The elder clicked his tongue and showed off his palm, shouting, "Ha!" Wee Peng was hit and slid back. The elder spoke, "First elder, what is going on right now?" The fat elder, now confused, said, "It can't be." An elder commented, "It's a bit early to be doing this, but it should be fine." Wee Peng shouted, "Stop him!" The first elder sneered, "It's too late." Suddenly, a flare of old Chinese magic shot into the sky, causing the soldiers to look on in confusion. One soldier said, "Huh?" His friend replied, "What the hell is that?" As a fellow soldier stabbed Bloodhound Li Cheon-bae in the back, he cried out in pain, "Ack!" His friend was shot point blank with arrows, and in confusion he gasped, "Whoa, what? Erg!" Another soldier tore his robe to reveal a black one underneath. A soldier nearby exclaimed, "What the hell?" Suddenly another soldier shouted in pain, "Ack!" An enemy soldier declared, "We don't have to hide ourselves anymore. Kill all of them." Jin Wee-kyung, watching in shock, thought to himself, "The Demon Bow sect, the Third Gate sect, even the Imperial Guards. This has been meticulously planned for a very long time." One by one, Jin Wee-kyung's soldiers were cut down. An enemy soldier commented, "If we were following our original plan, we would have started this battle after the Mount Hang Sword sect." The eldest senior replied, "It's a bit early. Everything requires time and patience." Bloodhound Lee Chon-baek in disbelief said, "It was you. I'll do whatever I can to slice you into pieces." The eldest senior stared at him coldly and asked, "You still have strength left in you?" Bloodhound Lee Chon-baek gritted his teeth and replied, "If I can't fulfill this while I'm alive, I'll make sure to do so in the afterlife." Suddenly, 2 pressure points were struck on his body, and he collapsed to the ground. The eldest senior looked down at him and said, "I can't kill you just yet. There's something you still have to do." Jin Tae-kyung, watching the scene unfold, shouted, "You bastard, get your hand away from him." The eldest senior turned to see Jin Tae-kyung charging toward him, shouting, "Ah!" Mahum-yo called out, "Leader, please slow down." Jin Tae-kyung pushed forward, thinking, "Shit, I was too far away to see properly. But that man over there has a large stature and wields a large sword. Is it Jae-jin Wee-kyung? I can't believe he's already been attacked. Did the head elder kill him? What should I do? Will I be able to save him?" He spotted a spear, grabbed it, and muttered, "Shh." Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, "I don't know anymore. But I've gotten stronger in both the real world and the Murim world. I'm not going to lose that easily." Jin Tae-kyung shouted, "How dare you? Hurt my brother, you shitty geezer." He threw the spear toward the eldest senior. The eldest senior glanced at the spear and swiftly moved his sword, cutting the spear in half. Jin Tae-kyung and his team were shocked. Jin Tae-kyung froze, confused, and thought to himself, "Aura." He continued, "Well, shit." He explained internally, "Aura, a condensed form of mana that can only be utilized by A-rank hunters and above. Although it's called mana, it's essentially the same as chi." As Jin Tae-kyung and his team observed, they saw the eldest senior's sword glowing. Joyum said, "Leader, I'm pretty sure that was sword chi right there." Mahum-yo asked, "Are you positive the head elder betrayed us?" Yuk Mujin questioned, "Why don't we just talk it out with him?" Jin Tae-kyung muttered, "Shit, we're really fucked now. Should I run?" "No, I wouldn't have come back if I was planning to do that. It's too late to back out now. There's only one thing I can do." He turned to his team, "You guys wait here," and took another spear from the ground. Yuk Mujin shouted, "Oh! You going to fight him alone?" Joyom added, "Are you crazy? Well, we'll come with you." Yuk Mujin asked, "Don't you need a meat shield like us if you're even going to have a chance of winning?" Jin Tae-kyung responded, "What? I'm not planning to get us killed. I'll just test the waters a bit, so sit tight." Jin Tae-kyung and the eldest senior locked eyes. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, "If I take full advantage of the length of my spear, I think I can beat him." The eldest senior stood silently. He suddenly stepped forward, and Jin Tae-kyung did the same, charging with his spear. A system notification chimed, "Ding, title effect, virtuous is being applied." Another notification, "Ding, your strength has increased." Another, "Ding, your agility has increased." A final notification, "Ding, your stamina has increased." The eldest senior blocked Jin Tae-kyung's spear and said, "Not bad, but do you think this is enough to kill me?" Jin Tae-kyung's eyes widened as the eldest senior effortlessly sliced his spear like butter and made quick slashes. Jin Tae-kyung jumped back, but suddenly the rod of his broken spear was cut into pieces. He threw the pieces at the eldest senior and dashed to the side. The eldest senior scoffed, "Are you planning to run?" Jin Tae-kyung shouted, "Like hell I would run." He grabbed Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek's body and dashed towards safety. The eldest senior snarled, "You bastard," and attacked. Jin Tae-kyung managed to dodge, carrying Bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek in his arms. Joyom shouted, "Protect our leader, gather everyone over here." Mahum-yo shouted, "Protect the third young master." Yuk Mujin asked, "Are you okay, leader?" Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, "Wait, who the hell is this Jigui?" Jin Tae-kyung then asked aloud, Excuse ma'am, who are you?" Yuk Mujin, shocked, gasped, "Heek," and shouted, Lee Cheon-baek." Jin Tae-kyung blinked in confusion. "You know this dude?" Yuk Mujin replied, "Of course I do. He's the Bloodhound, Lee Cheon-baek." Jin Tae-kyung, still confused, asked, "Bloodhound?" Hyuk Mujin clarified, "Mount Hang Sword Sect's leader, Lee Cheon-baek." Jin Tae-kyung suddenly froze in shock and crashed into the wall, exclaiming, "Heek!" He thought to himself, "He's the bastard who started this war to kill me. Not only did I rescue the wrong person, but I could have almost been killed by him. But thank God it wasn't Jin Wee-kyung." Yuk Mujin asked, "Where is the lesser family head?" Jin Tae-kyung replied, "I'm not sure either, but he..." Suddenly, soldiers were struck down in front of them. Jin Tae-kyung muttered, "Now isn't the time for us to be worrying about that." The eldest senior remarked, Never have I seen a more impudent bastard than you. In another part of the battlefield, Wei Peng jumped forward to attack an elder. The elder blocked his attacks, while another elder tried to strike from behind with a swift slash, cutting Wei Peng's hair. Jin Wei-kyung shouted, "You bastards!" Suddenly, the first elder pointed his sword at Jin Wei-kyung, saying, "What's the hurry?" Jin Wei-kyung scoffed, "Ha!" and tried to attack. The first elder countered, and with a loud clash, both Jin Wei-kyung and the first elder slid back. They exchanged silent glances. Jin Wei-kyung thought to himself, how is an old man like him so goddamn strong? The first elder said, "I didn't expect the lesser family head to have this much strength." Jin Wei-kyung winced in pain as he was struck in the arm and cheek. "Ah," he thought, "I've already used too much of my chi dealing with the martial masters of the Mount Heng sword sect." The first elder jumped to attack Jin Wei-kyung again. Jin Wei-kyung thought, this is going to be difficult. Suddenly, another sword was about to strike, and the first elder diverted his sword to intercept it. Jin Wei-kyung was shocked. The first elder said, "Law advisor, you annoying brat, do you seriously want to die?" The law advisor groaned in pain. Erg.F first elder. The law advisor, gasping for breath, declared, "You've broken the family law." The first elder smirked and responded, "Oh, and?" The law advisor, still in pain, continued, "As the law advisor of the Jin family of Taiyuan, I hereby order the criminals to stop there." Before he could finish, the first elder ended him with a swift strike. Jin Wei-kyung shouted in fury, "You bastard!" The others were stunned and shouted, "Law advisor!" The first elder coldly remarked, "They were the lesser family heads, elite bodyguards, and officials." Teach! How bothersome! Nearby, an elder collapsed, his head falling to the ground. Another overweight elder lay lifeless on the floor, and yet another elder shouted, "What the hell is this?" The bald elder thought to himself, "Are you telling me the elders have been tricking us this entire time?" Another balding elder muttered, "To think we didn't know any better and supported them in the past. How embarrassing." An elder with a mustache grimaced, "Were they planning to kill us as well?" He sighed and then shouted, "Kill those traitors." As the elders' faction charged toward the enemy elders, the first elder said, "You insolent fools." Another elder retorted, "Today's the day you depart for death." His comrade shouted, "You bastards! Show them the strength of the Jin family of Taiwan." Jin Wei-kyung stepped forward and called out, "Hear my words. The Mount Heng sword sect are the enemies of the Jin family of Taiyuan. All of this was meticulously planned and executed by the head elder. We must gather our strengths and push them back together." The elder senior, observing the scene, thought to himself, "Martial warriors. To become one, you must go through an excruciating amount of training to prove your strength, and not rely on deceptive measures like assassinations. You must always uphold your honor to avoid bringing shame to your name." But, the eldest senior continued, "Did I live too long?" As dirt splattered against the wall, he evaded it with remarkable skill. Jin Tae-kyung shouted to his team, "Hey, keep throwing dirt. Hurry, stop resting." The eldest senior thought, throwing dirt. "For the 80 years I've been alive, this is the first time I've witnessed such a fight. Even the unjust factions I fought against never stooped this low." One soldier shouted, "It's our leader's order. Keep throwing dirt at him." Another added, "Keep your distance. Be careful." A third shouted, "Don't stop throwing." The final soldier called out, "Understood, sir." Another soldier said, "Make some space." The eldest senior, still deflecting the dirt, thought to himself, "You're telling me these guys are supposed to be martial warriors? How pathetic." Hyuk-Mujin shouted, "You dumbasses, what the hell are you doing right now?" The eldest senior, observing them, thought, "Boo-oo. It seems there's at least one guy with some sense left in him." Hyuk-Mujin shouted, "Do you really think dirt is enough? Mix in some rocks as well." The eldest senior, caught off guard, was struck in the face by the rocks. Suddenly, Jin Tae-kyung and the others were shocked as the dirt fell from the eldest senior's face. The eldest senior chuckled, "Aha! Ha ha ha!" His sword was radiating with intense aura. He said seriously, "I hope you're prepared for what's to come." Jin Tae-kyung said to Hyuk-Mujin, "You shouldn't have thrown rocks at him." Hyuk-Mujin, sweating nervously, replied, "But I wasn't the one who did that." Without warning, the eldest senior charged forward, fury in his eyes. Jin Tae-kyung shouted, "Fall back! Hurry! Keep throwing dirt at him." As dirt and stones rained down on the eldest senior, he slashed through them, cutting a soldier in half. He moved forward, cutting down every soldier in his path. Hyuk-Mujin sprinted, calling for his leader. Suddenly, Jin Tae-kyung grabbed him, pulling him aside just as the eldest senior missed his attack. Jin Tae-kyung threw Hyuk-Mujin away and shouted, "Run!" He barely managed to dodge the eldest senior's attack, grunting in pain. The eldest senior snarled. You dare stop me! Do you have no fear? Jin Tae-kyung replied. If I tell you that I am, will you let me live? The eldest senior scoffed. Ooh, da unbelievable. It seems you'll need to learn some manners first. As Jin Tae-kyung winced in pain, the eldest senior thrust his sword toward him. Jin Tae-kyung thought, I'm fucked. Suddenly, a blade blocked the eldest senior's attack. The eldest senior was taken aback and jumped away. Jin Tae-kyung fell to the ground in pain, shouting, ouch! Jin Wee-kyung appeared, saying, it's normal for a young boy like him to be disrespectful at times. So why are you hell-bent on killing my younger brother? He pointed his blade at the eldest senior. The eldest senior gazed silently at him. Jin Tae-kyung thought, I knew it. He was still alive. Jin Wee-kyung winked at Jin Tae-kyung and said, what do you think? Your older brother is pretty cool, right? Jin Tae-kyung muttered to himself. He hasn't changed. The eldest senior said, if you were able to come here. Jin Wee-kyung replied, I killed the second elder and the third elder. The first elder took some time. The eldest senior said, they always said they wanted to die like warriors. I'm glad they were able to get their wish fulfilled. Jin Wee-kyung retorted, they will be remembered as traitors, not as warriors. That includes you as well. The eldest senior said, history is written by the winners. With that, he continued, let us determine who wins today's battle. Jin Wee-kyung shouted, attack the traitor. The soldiers echoed, understood, and charged at the eldest senior. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, it's finally over. Even if he's the head elder, he won't be able to stop Jin Wee-kyung and all of the peak realm martial masters. Suddenly, the eldest senior's hand began to shine, growing brighter by the second. Without warning, multiple projectiles shot toward them, striking several soldiers. Jin Wee-kyung tried to deflect the projectiles, but Jin Tae-kyung's spear was hit and instantly shattered. Jin Tae-kyung stared at the broken spear, confused. A rock? He realized. He's able to shoot rocks as if they're bullets? Jin Wee-kyung shouted, he's using shattering pellets, keep your distance. The eldest senior vanished, reappearing to strike the soldiers with deadly precision. Jin Wee-kyung grinned angrily, charging toward the eldest senior. Head elder! He shouted, striking at him. The eldest senior blocked it with ease. The eldest senior remarked, how disorganized. It seems you've enjoyed peace for far too long. He prepared another stone, flicking it toward Jin Tae-kyung. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked and tried to evade it, shouting, whoa! A soldier cried out in pain, Jin Tae-kyung thought, shit, I should have blocked that attack. I dodged without seeking. The eldest senior mocked him, how embarrassing, rolling around on the ground like a donkey. Jin Tae-kyung snapped, shut it, I'll do whatever I can to survive. The eldest senior smirked, oh ho, spoken like a true warrior. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, shit, how can an old geezer like him be this strong? He's blocking all of Jin Wee-kyung's attacks and taking care of the surrounding warriors one by one. What should I do? He wished he could pierce him hard with a spear. Is there nothing I can do? Suddenly, his gaze landed on a soldier lying motionless on the ground. A soldier shouted as he attacked the eldest senior. Ha! He tried to stab the eldest senior, shouting, die, but missed. The eldest senior caught the soldier by the head, twisting it with a swift motion. The soldier's head turned with a sickening crack, and he fell, lifeless. Jin Wee-kyung continued to attack the eldest senior. Shit, Jin Wee-kyung thought. He doesn't have any openings. I can't believe he's been hiding this much strength this whole time. Another soldier attacked the eldest senior, shouting, ha! But he was hit by rocks and cried out in pain. He fell to the ground, but before he could land, the eldest senior slapped him back up, slashing him in two. How dare you step in? The eldest senior sneered. Jin Wee-kyung thought to himself, now's my chance. The eldest senior sneered. Where do you think you're? Jin Wee-kyung interjected. I apologize for utilizing the body of a fallen warrior. With that, he aimed for the eldest senior's back. Jin Tae-kyung prepared his spear, saying, however, I'll make sure to fulfill your vengeance. He shouted, one strike. As Jin Tae-kyung and Jin Wee-kyung cornered the eldest senior, I'm in danger. The eldest senior let out a deep breath. Ho! He stomped the ground, shattering it, and his sword glowed even brighter. Jin Wee-kyung, sweating, thought to himself, enhanced sword chi? Just as Jin Wee-kyung was about to strike the eldest senior's face, the eldest senior swung his sword, shattering it to pieces. Jin Wee-kyung was shocked and gritted his teeth. Jin Tae-kyung aimed for the eldest senior's stomach. Suddenly, the eldest senior reached out and touched the spearhead. Jin Tae-kyung screamed, "Ah!" The eldest senior paused, confused. A golden light shone, and in the chaos, fallen soldiers lay on the ground. Others saw the brilliant light. Jin Tae-kyung thrust his spear toward the eldest senior. The eldest senior said, "What is this move?" Jin Tae-kyung panted heavily. "Huff, huff, one strike." The eldest senior stabbed his sword into the ground. He smirked. "One strike, you say?" As he pressed on his shoulder's pressure points, he trembled in pain, stopping the bleeding in his amputated arm. "I never thought I would become one-armed at this age," he muttered, shaking his head. "It seems the three brothers have all grown up spectacularly." Jin Wee-kyung proudly declared, "My younger brothers are the pride of the Jin family of Taiyuan." Jin Tae-kyung, confused, thought to himself, why is he complimenting us all of a sudden? Did losing his arm make him lose his mind? The eldest senior continued, "However, power is attained when you start to ignore the value of being blood-related. Once you realize the truth behind this statement, do you think you will still hold your siblings in high regard?" A soldier whispered to his friend, "There's no way the third young master would do that, right?" His friend replied, "Nah, I doubt he would." Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, Why the hell would I want to become the family head? I have no intentions of attaining that position, you bastards." Jin Wee-kyung asked, "Was that the reason?" The eldest senior asked, "What do you mean?" Jin Wee-kyung said, "The reason behind your betrayal." Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, a fight over inheritance. Was that why he caused all of this today? Jin Wee-kyung pressed, "What happened to you in the past?" The eldest senior fell silent. Finally, the eldest senior spoke, "How much do you know about your eldest grandfather?" Jin Wee-kyung responded, "I haven't heard much about him, nor did my father talk about him either." The eldest senior explained, "He was a very cruel man, not only to his children, but to his only brother as well. We were close at one point in time, but due to differences in beliefs, we slowly drifted apart. It was during this time that the Great Faction War began." He continued, "The followers of the demonic faction came at us in full force. The fate of the Murim world relied on this war. So, we quickly formed an alliance with all the 9 factions to defend ourselves. I unified all of the martial warriors in the Shaanxi region under the Jin family of Taiyuan, and the conclusive battle ended up taking place here, at the 8th Heavenly Valley." Jin Wee-kyung said, "The battle of 300 versus 3,000. You were able to pull off a miraculous victory. It was because of this feat that your title, Blade of Flowers, was cemented into history." The eldest senior grimaced. "Teach, that's true. However, there was an ambush." Jin Wee-kyung was confused. "An ambush?" The eldest senior nodded. "It was because of this ambush that we were pushed far back into the valley. I kept swinging my sword, but there was only one thought crossing my mind. How the hell were they able to set up an ambush beforehand? The one who should have been guarding the entrance to the 8th Heavenly Valley should have been my eldest brother." He paused, eyes filled with bitterness. "Only 8 of us survived the battle. When we returned to our family, I could never forget the surprised look on my brother's face." Jin Wee-kyung said, "Is that the truth?" The eldest senior continued, "It's natural for the world to change. Do you think I survived this long without acting upon my doubts? In order to preserve our lives, the 4 of us decided to attain our positions within the elders branch, while the rest went off to build their own sects in preparation for our revenge." Jin Wee-kyung thought to himself, the sect leaders of the 5 sects of Shaanxi. The eldest senior growled, "We waited for decades." Suddenly, Jin Tae-kyung interrupted, "What a load of bullshit." Jin Wee-kyung and the others were shocked. The eldest senior seethed, "What did you just say?" Jin Tae-kyung casually picked his ear and said, "I've been listening to what you've been saying, but who cares if you're doing this out of revenge or whatnot? In the end, your objective is still the same. You want to get rid of the Jin family of Taiyuan and the Mount Hang Sword sect since they're getting in your way. After that, you're planning to take Shaanxi for yourself. Correct?" He flicked his earwax off. The eldest senior shouted, "You bastard!" Jin Tae-kyung smirked, "Am I wrong? Then why are you exacting your revenge right now? All this shit happened 40 years ago. How many of those people that betrayed you are still alive today? There should be a limit to how much nonsense you spout." The eldest senior sneered, "What an insolent fool you are. Where are your manners?" Jin Tae-kyung stood silently, staring back at him. With a cold gaze, he replied, "With all the crap you've caused, I don't think I should be treating you with respect." As he glanced at the fallen soldiers lying on the ground, silence descended. The eldest senior, contemplating with his one remaining arm, spoke softly, "I see. It seems it doesn't matter what I say anymore." He drew his sword and said, "Come, let's put an end to this." Jin Wee-kyung called out, "Head elder." Jin Tae-kyung shouted, "Get him!" He's nothing more than an injured beast. The battle intensified. A soldier was struck in the arm, another in the neck. The eldest senior took a blow but managed to dodge another strike, though another soldier was hit in the stomach and collapsed to the ground. Panting heavily, the eldest senior gave them a serious look. Suddenly, 2 soldiers leaped at him, but the eldest senior blocked their swords effortlessly. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, he blocked them. Stepping forward, he muttered, but it looks like this monster geezer is finally tiring out. Jin Tae-kyung thrust his spear and struck the side of the eldest senior, who cried out in pain. "Ah, you insolent bastard," the eldest senior snarled. Jin Tae-kyung thought, or not, a figure slashed at the eldest senior from behind. He coughed up blood and trembled in pain, turning to face his attacker. "I completely forgot about you, attacking me from the back. Did you learn that from my brother?" Jin Wee-kyung replied, "I would be a fool to practice chivalry when the life of my family is in danger." The eldest senior scoffed, "You have no shame as a martial warrior." Jin Wee-kyung responded firmly, "I am the lesser family head before being a martial warrior." The eldest senior chuckled weakly. "Lesser family head, you say?" "Oh ho." He panted heavily, struggling to stay on his feet. Jin Wee-kyung said, "Head elder, the winner of this match has already been decided." As the eldest senior trembled and struggled to stand, Jin Wee-kyung added, "There's no point in continuing this fight. Please just surrender." Jin Tae-kyung listened silently. The eldest senior groaned in pain. "Yes, your words are right. This may be a pointless battle. However, I've come too far to stop now." Jin Tae-kyung was shocked. "That stance, it's the same as last time," he thought, remembering when Joe Pill had used his life force to unleash a powerful attack. The eldest senior gathered a dark aura around him. Jin Tae-kyung realized he even applied sword enhancement. The eldest senior looked at Jin Tae-kyung, and his eyes narrowed. Jin Tae-kyung froze, thinking, "I'm going to die. I need to do something." As he struggled to move, he groaned in pain. Argum. Suddenly, he stabbed someone. Jin Tae-kyung blinked in confusion. "Eek? Huh?" The eldest senior turned in shock. Lee Cheon-baek?" Lee Cheon-baek cackled. "Ah ha ha ha. That's why. You should have finished me when you had the chance. Ka ha 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 ha. Sha. He fell to the ground dead. A system notification chimed. "Ding, you have eliminated LV-75, Lee Cheon-baek. Ding, level up. Ding, level up. Ding, level up. Ding." As a side effect of leveling up, Jin Tae-kyung's body made a full recovery. He glowed brightly, and his inner pill shone like the sun. The eldest senior, in pain, groaned, "Ugh." Jin Tae-kyung looked at him and gripped his spear tightly. The eldest senior, struggling, muttered, Back. Jin Tae-kyung suddenly said, "One strike." The eldest senior was shocked. He saw the light surrounding Jin Tae-kyung. Panting and sweating, Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, "I can't believe I survived because of that man. It's a good thing I saved him earlier, even if it was by accident." Whew! He exhaled. The eldest senior, coughing weakly, said, "What a vicious bastard. You still show no respect to a dying elder?" Jin Tae-kyung scoffed. "Why the heck would I show respect to an elder who almost killed me just seconds ago?" The eldest senior wheezed. "Oh, your words are sharp." Coughs. Jin Wee-kyung said, "You seem tired." The eldest senior, looking at him, answered, "I'm feeling quite comfortable, actually. I've never had a proper rest since the Great Faction War. Actually, I've been exhausted long before that." Jin Tae-kyung grumbled. "Why are you still spouting nonsense after?" Jin Wee-kyung hushed him. "Shh, Tae-kyung." The eldest senior chuckled weakly. "No, you're right. This is all nothing more than the babble of a senile old man." Jin Tae-kyung grimaced. "Ew, I guess you really are close to death." Jin Wee-kyung snapped. "Enough, you little shit." Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. "What? It's not like I'm wrong." Jin Wee-kyung tried to hit him in the head, shouting, "Why you?" The eldest senior laughed softly. "Ha ha. There was a time when I had the same relationship as you two. Yes, those were the D-days." His hand dropped to the ground. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked. Jin Wee-kyung looked at the eldest senior with concern. "Head elder?" A system notification chimed. "Ding! You have eliminated LV-95 Jin Baek-yang." Another chimed. "Ding! Level up. Ding! Level up. Ding! Level. Ding! You have earned the title Sleeping Dragon of Shaanxi. Ding! You have gained an enormous amount of levels. Ding! You have gained an enormous amount of fame. Ding! You have completed the quest, the traitor." Hyuk Mujin shouted in victory. "The third young master, Jin Tae-kyung, has slain the head elder. The sleeping dragon of Shaanxi defeated the Blade of Illusions." The enemy soldiers were shocked, murmuring, "Head elder? They dropped their weapons, crying out, "The sleeping dragon of Shaanxi Jin Taekyung has killed the head elder. Jin Baek-yang, the sleeping dragon of Shaanxi. Sleeping dragon of Shaanxi." Wei Peng listened and muttered, to think the third young master, who was infamous for being a troublemaker, would receive such praise. Looks like things are about to get pretty hectic from now on. So, what are you going to do now? The first elder scoffed. "Do you think I believe what this shout is hollering that the head elder has died?" The first elder sneered. "Then that means his death was still part of our master's plan. If you believe that the third young master was the one who truly killed the head elder, then you are a fool." "Ah ha ha," Wei Peng remarked. "You can see all of that from here? Your one eye still hasn't failed you." The first elder answered, "It's because I lost an eye that my eyesight has gotten better." He rested against the body of the second elder. "Ha," Wei Peng urged. "If you receive treatment now, you still have a chance to live." The first elder shook his head. "No, I'm already destined to die. It'll be a painful death as well. You won't be able to save me." Wei Peng asked. "What do you mean by that?" The first elder sweated, looking strained. "Listen carefully to what I'm about to say." Wei Peng was confused, waiting. The first elder rasped, "The dark heavens. Botch out 4. Suddenly, he spat out blood. Wang Peng shouted, "First elder! This poison? Isn't this forbidden arts? The dark heavens. I'm sure that's what he said. He's telling us to watch out for the dark heavens." A few moments later, cheers erupted from the crowd. "Hooray! The sleeping dragon of Shaanxi!" The shouts echoed above them, but the noise suddenly faded. Sect leader Jin Chung collapsed to the ground. In pain, he whispered, "Ugh, you bastard, aren't you?" He gasped, realizing something. "The dark heavens!" A man in dark clothes appeared, saying, "That's as far as you're needed." The elder, trembling in pain, hissed, "How dare you?" The man in dark clothes calmly addressed sect leader Jin Chung 40 years ago, when you guys were on the verge of being killed by the demonic cult. Not only did we save you, but we also gave you the chance to exact vengeance. Correct? Sect leader Jin Chung groaned in pain. "Ugh." The man continued, "However, look at this result." The people around them shouted, "Yeah." "All hail the sleeping dragon of Shaanxi." Sect leader Jin Chung muttered, "But," the man in black replied, "that was only because you guys implanted parasitic poisons into our brains and forced us to do your bidding." Sect leader Jin Chung exclaimed, "Weren't you planning to use us to take over the province of Shaanxi?" The man in black responded, "Well, we did at first." Sect leader Jin Chung gasped, "Then what was the purpose of using us this way?" The man in black grinned, maybe for a bigger picture?" He struck sect leader Jin Chung in the stomach with a palm, sending him flying off the cliff. Turning away, he said, "Oh my, that must have hurt. Farewell." The soldiers shouted in unison, "Jin Taekyung! Jin Taekyung! Jin Taekyung, sleeping dragon of Shaanxi." The man in black muttered, "How annoying. The sleeping dragon of Shaanxi, the one variable we didn't expect. I don't like this one bit." The man in black pondered, "Should I just kill him now?" Jin Taekyung shouted, "Let go! Unhand me, you bastard!" Jin Wei-kyung, carrying him like a little child, said, "I'm proud of you, little bro, as expected of my youngest brother." The man in black looked at them, his gaze unreadable. Jin Wei-kyung sighed as he carried Jin Taekyung on his back, shaking his head. He turned to leave, muttering to himself, "I shall spare you for today." Jin Taekyung protested, "Let go! Seriously, you're going to break my leg." Jin Wei-kyung laughed. Little bro in another scene at a restaurant. "So?" his friend replied, "Continue. What happened to the Mount Hang sword sect that invaded them?" Another friend chimed in, "I'll buy another round of bamboo alcohol, so hurry up and tell us." The man pondered. "I don't think one bottle of bamboo alcohol will be enough." The other friend smirked, "You cheeky old man." Suddenly, a man placed money on the table. The others were shocked, and one friend stammered, "Oh, 1 silver coin?" The mysterious man said to himself, "I want to hear the rest of your story. Keep it simple and true to the facts." A few moments later, a man on horseback rode forward and stopped. He thought to himself, "The sleeping dragon of Shaanxi played the biggest role in the success of our war." He remembered what the old man had said. Thanks to the help of the Jin family of Taiyuan, the victory was easy. That's why the Mount Hang sword sect is practically on the verge of annihilation. I wonder what's going to happen now that the second descendant, Li Seogin, and the sect leader, Li Qin Baek, are dead. His friend asked, "He died to bandits?" "Seriously," the old man continued, "and since the first descendant, the crown successor, died in a bandit attack a few years ago, the mysterious man's attention sharpened when he heard the sleeping dragon of Shaanxi. He muttered to himself apparently, the sleeping dragon of Shangxi single-handedly destroyed the greatest armed force in the Hubei region, the 18th Legion of the Green Forest Army. A lady on the street exclaimed, "He's the most handsome man I've ever seen." An old man told his wife, "He's a divine god that descended from the heavens." His wife, confused, asked, "What are you mumbling about?" The mysterious man thought to himself, "A just swordsman who will not tolerate any form of evil." The old man chimed in, "Oh, you want to know who this person is?" Jin Mu-kyung, unimpressed, covered his eyes and muttered, "It's none other than the third young master of the Jin family of Taiyuan, Jin Tai-kyung." Suddenly a voice called out, "Halt!" A guard approached Jin Mu-kyung and said, "I am the defender of the province of Shangxi, as well as the gatekeeper of the great Jin family of Taiyuan. I am Hyukmu-jin, the right-hand man of the sleeping dragon of Shangxi. Now hurry and state your name and business for this visit." Jin Mu-kyung scoffed, "Who? Shut the heck up and just open the door." A few moments later, Jin Tae-kyung was smiling. He saw a system notification, character, level 50 Jin Tae-kyung. Jin Tae-kyung exclaimed, "I gained 13 levels at once." A system notification chimed, job, first-rate warrior fame, 1,180 150 title. 4. Title effect currently. Jin Tae-kyung smiled. "My fame is over 1,000 as well." The system chimed again, "Please distribute your stat points." Jin Tae-kyung pondered, sleeping dragon of Shangxi increases all stats, son of a noble increases all stats, novice trainee increases all stats. Jin Tae-kyung grinned. "And I got a brand new title. The shame of the family title is gone now. Ha, this is just what I needed. It was worth risking my life to fight the head elder." He reflected, but still that old man was impressive. I wonder how a level 95 lost to me. What would have happened if we fought one-on-one? I probably wouldn't have lasted a full minute. He checked his title again. Sleeping Dragon of Shangxi rank. Peak effects. Increases all stats by 10 and fame by 100. Your name is known all throughout the province of Shangxi. However, the world of Murim is still large and mysterious. You must never let your guard down. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, sleeping dragon of Shangxi. He recalled Goyang City's one-shot punch and Incheon City's sea of blood. Jin Tae-kyung said to himself, "Is my title supposed to be something like that? I think it means that I may not be the strongest in the entire mainland, but I at least know how to stand my ground in my region. Nice. At least I got stronger." He grinned. "I'll aim to become the strongest in this world and then return to reality." He remembered what he'd told leader Choi Min-woo. "You might have to raise my pay tomorrow." Jin Tae-kyung said to himself, "I should probably log out when I become a B-rank hunter. No, actually, maybe I should log out when I become an A-rank hunter." He smiled and looked up, but suddenly he sat up and said, "Huh? Wait a second. I think I'm forgetting something important, right?" Suddenly, the door shattered and flew open. Jin Mu-kyung stood in the doorway saying, "So you were here." Jin Tae-kyung looked confused, eyeing Jin Mu-kyung. Hyukmu-jin had a black eye. Jin Tae-kyung asked, "Who the hell is this guy?" Hyukmu-jin replied, "Excuse me? Why, you don't recognize him." Jin Tae-kyung asked, "How the heck am I supposed to know who he is?" "You're the one who should be introducing me to him." He studied Jin Mu-kyung carefully. Although there's dirt covering his face, he looks pretty young. His body is well trained, which implies he's skilled in martial arts. Interesting. Jin Tae-kyung smirked. "I suppose he's the idiot warrior who came to fight me as soon as he heard about my accomplishments. I can already tell how this is going to go." He prepared himself, thinking, "All right, let's see how strong he is." Chi sense, a system notification chimed level. Jin Tae-kyung muttered to himself, "Huh, I guess he's kinda strong." Then realizing something, he stared. Wait, his name, Jin Mu-kyung. He remembered what Jin Wee-kyung had said earlier. The second brother? You don't remember him? Jin Tae-kyung replied, "Nope." Jin Wee-kyung said, "His name is Jin Mu-kyung. He's 25 years old. He's a genius in martial arts, having attained the peak spiritual realm at a very young age. Pretty cool, right?" Jin Tae-kyung said, Sure." Jin Wee-kyung added, "But you're probably not going to see him for a while. He's currently in a faraway place." Jin Tae-kyung asked, "Where is he?" Jin Wee-kyung said, "He's at a martial school in the province of Henan. I haven't seen him in over 3 years already." Jin Tae-kyung asked, "What's he usually like?" Jin Wee-kyung thought for a moment and said, Well, I guess you could say he's kind, although people often misunderstand him since his eyes are cold. But I can assure you, he's a nice guy." Jin Tae-kyung asked again, "Was he close with me?" Jin Wee-kyung scratched his cheek and hesitated. Yes, you guys were close. I think? Yeah, pretty sure you were C-close. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked. Second brother? Jin Moo-kyung stared at him silently. Jin Tae-kyung muttered to himself, since he was supposed to be at a faraway place, I thought it'd take him a few weeks to return. But he came back as soon as the war ended. Jin Tae-kyung then grinned awkwardly. You know, I was just messing around with you, right? Ah ha ha ha. It's been a while, older brother. Jin Moo-kyung looked at him. He shook his head and said, Yep, it truly has been a while. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, I wonder how much longer I have to act kind to him. Jin Tae-kyung smiled and asked, Have you been doing well? Jin Moo-kyung replied casually, so in any case. Youngest brother. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. Yes? He suddenly felt dizzy. Jin Moo-kyung said, The way you're talking to me has gotten quite informal, no? Before Jin Tae-kyung could react. Jin Moo-kyung tossed him around effortlessly. Jin Tae-kyung, startled, shouted, What the heck? Jin Tae-kyung quickly maneuvered midair, stepping on the wall and landing safely. Jin Moo-kyung raised an eyebrow. Oh? Jin Tae-kyung, slightly out of breath, said, I thought we were pretty close. Were we not? Jin Moo-kyung smirked. Yep, we're close. Time for you to greet my fist. As in my fist meeting your body. Jin Tae-kyung gulped, then muttered to himself, It was wrong of me to trust the words of an idiot older brother who dotes on his younger siblings. He recalled Jin Wee-kyung saying, You guys were very close. Jin Tae-kyung said with forced cheer, Sure. Nice to see you again, Mr. Jin Moo-kyung smirked again. It seems my younger brother has grown quite a bit. In an instant, he dashed to Jin Tae-kyung's side, adding, You're even fooling around in front of me. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked as Jin Moo-kyung's fist connected with his abs with a resounding thud. Jin Tae-kyung spat out saliva, wincing in pain. Jin Moo-kyung grinned. It's been a while since you've tasted my spicy fist of older brother, no? Jin Tae-kyung, still reeling, quickly punched back and shouted, What kind of a name is that for a fist technique? Jin Moo-kyung evaded easily, then landed a punch to Jin Tae-kyung's side. Jin Tae-kyung, grimacing in pain, shouted, Ack! Jin Tae-kyung yelled in frustration, You freaking! Jin Tae-kyung was hit several more times, his body recoiling with each blow. He cried out in pain. Urgh! Jin Moo-kyung said calmly, I'm far from being done. Suddenly, Jin Tae-kyung managed to deflect one of his punches. Jin Moo-kyung paused, surprised. You blocked it? Jin Tae-kyung winced. It hurts like hell. His power and speed are much stronger than mine, but since I'm able to withstand his attacks, I guess he's holding back on me. Jin Tae-kyung shot a glare at Jin Moo-kyung. What are you trying to accomplish? Jin Moo-kyung smirked. I'm trying to fix my younger brother's arrogance, since it seems he doesn't fear the heavens. You've improved. You were even able to block my attack. Jin Tae-kyung gritted his teeth. He's pissing me off. Just because you're a genius and my older brother doesn't mean you can just mess with me. Fine, since you're asking for it. He grinned. Let's go all out. Let's see just how talented you really are. I'll put 10 points into agility. Jin Tae-kyung felt the system's points update. Available points, 90. Jin Moo-kyung said with a laugh. What a scary face you're making. Jin Tae-kyung snapped. This is my normal expression. Jin Moo-kyung shrugged. All right, that's fine and all, but it seems you're still lacking in your speech. Suddenly, Jin Moo-kyung punched a nearby shelf with a loud crash. Jin Tae-kyung swiftly evaded. Jin Moo-kyung looked impressed. Oh? Jin Tae-kyung grinned. You heard the rumors, right? I'm the sleeping dragon of Shangxi. Jin Moo-kyung smirked. Yes, I've heard it more times than I would have liked. That groundless rumor of yours. Jin Tae-kyung's eyes narrowed. Then you. I'll catch up to you in no time, Jin Tae-kyung said confidently. Jin Moo-kyung raised an eyebrow. You? You're going to catch up to me? When? Jin Tae-kyung replied firmly. Starting now, I'll put 10 more points into agility. The system chimed. Available points, 80. Jin Moo-kyung raised his fist, saying, Withstand 15 minutes of my attack, and then I'll start addressing you as my senior brother. He charged forward. Jin Tae-kyung focused on Jin Moo-kyung's fist. I can clearly see it. With this, I'll be able to perfectly avoid his attacks. But before he could react, Jin Moo-kyung's fist landed squarely on his face with a loud thud that echoed throughout the mansion. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, shit, maybe I should have put 10 more points into agility. Flashback, Jin Moo-kyung remembered when he was 15 years old. Was it when I was 15? I can still clearly remember that day. He called out, Hey, little BBRO, what's that? Jin Tae-kyung, then only 10, replied, A chair. Jin Moo-kyung looked confused. What? It's just a chair. Jin Tae-kyung added, I was going to use it during the horse stance training. Jin Moo-kyung laughed. Aha! Is it because you're tired during the horse stance training? Jin Tae-kyung shouted in pain. Heek, Jin Moo-kyung said. Get on the ground. It seems you can't be reasoned with. Jin Tae-kyung replied. What? Jin Moo-kyung thought to himself. That was the birth of my spicy fist of older brother. So a kid like him is now the sleeping dragon of Shangxi. When I first heard that rumor at a tavern, it was so unbelievable that I ended up laughing my ass off. That was why I barged into Tae-kyung's room as soon as I returned home. The only thing he knew was chasing after girls and slacking off. But now, he's chasing fame and calling himself a martial master in the peak realm? All right, it seems you need a thorough beating today, and that was what I had in mind. However, he was able to dodge that. Since when? Peak spiritual realm? No, that's not possible. At best, he has to be a first-rate warrior. But how is this possible? Even if he had unlimited sunlight and water, there's a time and place for learning martial arts. Tae-kyung wasted his golden opportunity to grow as a martial warrior, but to think he'd make this much progress in just under 3 years. Even if he turned over a new leaf, something like this is unheard of. Suddenly, a glass broke as Jin Moo-kyung blocked Jin Tae-kyung's fist. Jin Tae-kyung said, laughs, you blocked my attack because you knew you couldn't avoid it, right? Jin Moo-kyung said, you. Jin Tae-kyung said, I told you earlier, I'm seriously going to catch up to you. Jin Moo-kyung asked, what the hell did you do? Did you drink the elixir of divine chi? Jin Tae-kyung replied, why the hell would I drink something as nasty as that? Are you out of your mind? Jin Tae-kyung's available points were now at 50. Jin Tae-kyung said, anyhow, you said you'd consider me your senior brother if I withstood your attacks for 15 minutes, right? Well, I'm pretty sure time's up. Right, Mujin? Hyuk Mujin, trembling in fear on the ground, said, hey. I think so. Are you guys done? Suddenly, Jin Moo-kyung's gaze fell upon him, and he trembled in fear, saying, Heek, maybe I'm wrong. Would it be okay if I leave? Jin Moo-kyung became angry and said, no. As the floor cracked and the ceiling cracked from Jin Moo-kyung's pressure, the columns began to crack as well. Jin Moo-kyung's aura expanded. Jin Tae-kyung said, my sincerest apologies, older brother. I think I've had enough. Jin Moo-kyung said, we're going to continue where we left off, you little shit. Hyuk Mujin cried, save me. Suddenly, the second floor of the mansion exploded. Jin Wee-kyung and Wee-pung rushed to the scene. Jin Wee-kyung was shocked, and the whole mansion was obliterated. Jin Wee-kyung shouted, little bro, as he knelt to the ground and cried like a baby. Jin Moo-kyung threw Jin Tae-kyung's body near Jin Wee-kyung and said, he's not dead yet. Jin Moo-kyung said, ah. Jin Wee-kyung shouted, little bro. Jin Moo-kyung said, I think one might have died. Suddenly, Hyuk Mujin came out of the debris and said in pain, ah! A man shouted, it's the captain of the gatekeepers. His friend said, save him. We need to bring him to the infirmary. Jin Moo-kyung stretched his arms and said, what nice weather we have today. At night, Jin Tae-kyung opened his eyes and saw the ceiling. He thought to himself, I'm back at the infirmary again. He then thought, Jin Moo-kyung, you shitty bastard, where the hell am I supposed to sleep now? Suddenly, he felt something moving under the sheets. Confused, he looked at the sheet moving and opened it. Jin Tae-kyung said, what are you doing here? Seo Yul whispered, I'm playing hide and seek. I bet he doesn't know that, so Yul is hiding here. He then said to Jin Tae-kyung, shh. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, no wonder I sensed a human presence by the door this whole time. Suddenly, Seo Cheon knocked on the door. Jin Tae-kyung said, come in. Seo Cheon came in and said, please excuse my intrusion, my savior. Seo Yul was shocked and said, you betrayed me. Jin Tae-kyung said, life is full of betrayals, little one. A few moments later, Seo Cheon asked, my savior, are you okay? It seems your body is still in a bad state. Jin Tae-kyung replied, it's no big deal, it's just some bruises. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, even though I received a thorough beating, none of my bones have been broken. I guess he held back quite a bit since I am his younger brother. It's because of that attitude that I rashly stood up against him. Seo Yul fought Jin Tae-kyung and said, traitor. Seo Cheon said, ah, I see, that's good to hear then. Jin Tae-kyung asked, but, how did you know that I was injured? Did the rumors spread already? He coughed and asked, what is everyone saying? Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, since the sleeping dragon of Shangxi got his ass beat by the so-called heavenly Jin blade, I wouldn't be surprised if people started to doubt my credibility. Seo Cheon said, everyone is angry. This is treachery beyond belief. Jin Tae-kyung, confused, said, Seo Cheon shouted, if I was there, I would have done whatever I could to kill the bastard who did this to you. Jin Tae-kyung said. I'm thankful for your thought, but aren't you going a little too far? Calm down, little buddy. Seo Chin said, but why is this allowed? The lesser family head has prohibited anyone from pursuing after this bastard. Jin Tae-kyung and Seo Yul said, what? Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, what the hell is this? Is it common in the Murim world to execute your own brother? Isn't it normal for siblings to fight and not get along? Jin Tae-kyung said, getting up, no, it's fine. Go and assemble a pursuit team. Actually, it'll probably be faster for me to go after him. Where is my eldest brother? Seo Cheon replied, he's currently with the second brother. Jin Tae-kyung said, huh? Seo Cheon said, eh? Jin Tae-kyung said, what did you just say? He's with who? A few moments later, Jin Woo-kyung shouted, little bro, I almost forgot your face, you little brat. As he hugged Jin Woo-kyung tightly, Jin Woo-kyung gasped, I can't breathe. Jin Woo-kyung said, how cold? Is that all you can say to your brother after not seeing him for over 3 years? Jin Woo-kyung replied, yep, I'm a cold human being. Jin Woo-kyung said, then no problem, I'm a warm human being. I'll warm you right up. Please let go of me. Where did Elder Wee go? Jin Woo-kyung replied, I dispatched him on a private pursuit mission. It'll take him about a month to get to the Three-Gate sect. Yes, it's something he'd been planning for some time. Jin Woo-kyung said, how long? Jin Woo-kyung said, 30 years ago during the Great Faction War. Jin Woo-kyung interrupted, all right, then I'm not interested. Jin Woo-kyung said, at that time the head elder. Jin Woo-kyung cut him off. Wait, what? Jin Woo-kyung said, this is all stuff that happened before I was born. If you're going to explain all of that to me right now, I'll die of old age before you're done. If that's the case, I'd rather practice my sword right now. Jin Woo-kyung said, but still, you have to know the truth. The truth behind the main families, Jin Woo-kyung said. The head elder betrayed us, and he died. During this time, the Mount Hang sword sect was also the Jin family of Taiyuan became the sole victor of that incident. Did I miss anything else? Jin Woo-kyung said, no, you got the gist of it. Jin Woo-kyung said, all right, then I'm leaving. Jin Woo-kyung asked, you're going to leave? Where to? Jin Woo-kyung replied, to practice, of course. Jin Woo-kyung said, hey, Woo-kyung. Jin Woo-kyung said, thanks for the tea, bro, in a different scene. People shouted, we can't find him. One person said, he didn't leave behind a single piece of evidence or any witnesses. He vanished like a ghost. Another said, there's nothing over here. His friend said, no evidence over here either. A man with a torch said, go and search over there. Wee Peng muttered to himself, of course, you guys aren't going to find anything, since there was no intruder to begin with. I can't believe I have to play along with this farce. He thought, the dark heavens, the clouds are, we're seeing things that haven't appeared in centuries. We need to prepare ourselves. Jin Woo-kyung said to himself, I'll assign 30 soldiers to you. Take them and head south. We'll let the public think we are chasing after the intruder, but your real task will be something else. The new year is fast approaching. I plan to convene all the sects within the province of Shaanxi at Taiyuan. Bi Peng thought to himself, you're summoning them. Are you perhaps aiming to become leader of the faction? Jin Woo-kyung said, yes, if need be. System notification, character level, 50 Jin Tae-kyung job, first-rate warrior fame, 1. 180, 150 titles, 4 titles. Title effects are currently applied. Strength, 135-15 agility, 142-15 stamina, 180-15 intelligence, 25-15 charm, 25-15 QI, 15 years available points. 50, please distribute your stat points. Sleeping Dragon of Shaanxi, all stats 10, fame 100. Son of a Noble, all stats 5, fame 50. Victorious during one-on-one combat. All battle-related stats 10%. Novice trainee EXP gain 10%. Jin Tae-kyung muttered to himself, shit, I used too many of my stat points. Available points, 50. Jin Tae-kyung thought, I thought 20 or 30 points would have been enough, but I ended up putting 50 points into agility and still lost the fight. How strong is Jin Woo-kyung? Meanwhile, Hyuk Moo-jin shouted in pain. The doctor said, mark my words, if you escape this place without my permission again, I'll personally use my pressure needles to block off your blood meridians. The doctor suddenly looked at Jin Tae-kyung, sweating buckets. The doctor said, take it off. Jin Tae-kyung, scared, said, take what off? The doctor said, are you deaf? Take off your clothes. Jin Tae-kyung stripped off his bandages. The doctor was shocked and confused. Huh? What the hell is this? Jin Tae-kyung's body was sparkling in recovery. The doctor said, "Did you eat some medicinal pills last night?" Jin Tae-kyung replied, "Nope. I spent the whole day meditating and sleeping." The doctor thought to himself, is this the effect of the 100-year ginger? No, even this is too much for Tat. Did this bastard end up pillaging my medicinal storage room again? The doctor said, "You're free to go then." A few moments later, at his mansion, Jin Tae-kyung silently gazed at the debris of his former mansion. At Jin Wee-kyung's office, Jin Wee-kyung said, "A place to stay?" and smiled. "I know just the right place for you. Follow me." They walked through the streets. Jin Wee-kyung asked, "How is your body? Moo-kyung isn't an evil person. I hope you can understand that." Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, his punches felt plenty evil to me. I'm only walking around right now because my recovery is fast. Jin Wee-kyung shade, but now that you two will be seeing each other often, I'm sure you'll get along. He patted Jin Tae-kyung on the shoulder. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, I'd much rather not. A few minutes later, Jin Wee-kyung said, "All right, we've arrived. It's this building." Jin Tae-kyung said, "Oh, it's not bad." Jin Wee-kyung opened the door and asked, "Is it to your liking?" Jin Tae-kyung replied, "Yeah, it's a clean-looking place. It's also a lot bigger than I expected." Jin Wee-kyung said, "Of course it's big. I installed a training ground as well." Jin Tae-kyung said, "A training ground?" Jin Wee-kyung replied, "In case the weather is bad outside, I also constructed an underground training ground." Jin Tae-kyung said, "Oh shit, 2 training grounds?" Jin Wee-kyung said, "You guys won't have any issues if you share properly." Jin Tae-kyung said, "You got it. I'll make sure to share with." "Wait, what? Hold on. I thought this place was only for me." Jin Wee-kyung said, "Well, you see, since it's a big place, I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea for the two of you to share it. Besides, you guys can take this opportunity to get closer with each other as well." Jin Tae-kyung asked, "And this other person is?" Jin Wee-kyung shouted, "Moo-kyung, your brother is here." Jin Tae-kyung was shocked and muttered, fuck." A few moments later, Jin Tae-kyung and Jin Moo-kyung faced each other in the training ground. Jin Moo-kyung observed Jin Tae-kyung. Jin Tae-kyung, irritated, glared back. A few minutes earlier, Jin Tae-kyung shouted, "I dare you to hit me again, you bastard." Jin Moo-kyung said, "It seems you still haven't come to your senses after all that beating." Jin Tae-kyung hid behind Jin Wee-kyung and gave him the finger, saying, "Fuck you, try hitting me again." Jin Wee-kyung shouted, "Enough." He picked up Jin Tae-kyung like a kitten and said, "It's not 6 months or a year. It's only for 2 weeks. All I'm asking is for you two to get along until Tae-kyung's house gets rebuilt. Is that too much to ask?" Jin Moo-kyung, the one who destroyed Tae-kyung's house, stayed silent. Jin Wee-kyung said, "I made this decision after much thought. However, if you two truly dislike each other that much, then say it right now. I'll make sure to listen to your opinions." Jin Tae-kyung and Jin Moo-kyung looked at each other. Jin Moo-kyung said, "I don't like him." Jin Tae-kyung said, "Yep, I hate his guts." Jin Moo-kyung said, "Yo, you copying me?" Jin Tae-kyung looked away and said, Suddenly, Jin Wee-kyung hugged them both tightly and said, "Words can't express how grateful I am that my younger brothers are heeding the words of their eldest brother." Jin Moo-kyung said, "Wait, what? When did I?" Jin Wee-kyung squeezed them tighter. Jin Tae-kyung couldn't speak. In the present, Jin Moo-kyung remembered what Jin Wee-kyung had said. "Please, guys, can you two just listen to your older brother for once?" He thought to himself, 2 weeks. No, it'll just be for 10 days. Please? Jin Moo-kyung sighed and said, "I'll lay out some rules." Jin Tae-kyung asked, "Rules? Why do we need that?" Jin Moo-kyung said, "First, when you address me, you must show respect." Jin Tae-kyung said, "And what if I don't want to?" Suddenly, Jin Moo-kyung palm struck the steel man beside Jin Tae-kyung, sending it flying into the wall, smashing it. Jin Moo-kyung said, "Let me ask you again, what is the first rule?" Jin Tae-kyung stared at the steel man, now bearing a mark from Jin Moo-kyung's devastating blow. He became serious and looked at Jin Moo-kyung. Jin Tae-kyung immediately bowed and said, "It's to show respect, senior brother." Jin Moo-kyung said, "Good." Second, he struck another steel man and said, "You are to live here as if you don't exist. If you disrupt my sleep or my training, then..." Third, he continued, "You're free to use the training ground. However, if I tell you to move, you are to move without complaint. Understood?" Jin Tae-kyung said, Yeah, sure." He thought to himself, sweating, I miss my mom." Jin Moo-kyung said, "Seems you finally got some sense knocked into you. All right, get out of here. Your room is on the 3rd floor." Jin Tae-kyung suddenly ran away, looking back and thinking to himself, "Just you wait. I'll catch up to you soon. As Jin Moo-kyung swung his wooden sword at the steel dummies, they were cut into pieces like butter. Jin Tae-kyung sweated, running faster and thinking to himself, on second thought, I'll catch up to you someday. At night, Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, Jin Moo-kyung. He dislikes dependency and prioritizes efficiency above all else. A tryhard who does nothing but train. He's also a psychopath who beats up his younger brother whenever he feels like it. Then again, the two older brothers of the Jin family from Taiwan are trying their best to restore honor to their family. But the youngest brother slacks off and does nothing but chase after women. Wanting to beat his ass makes perfect sense. He's talented and powerful. If I think about it, he's pretty damn impressive. Wait, this is my chance. Since I'll be living with him for the next 10 days. If I can receive personal training from him, a martial master at the peak realm, wouldn't that significantly improve my martial arts? He might be willing to teach me, seeing as how his brother has turned over a new leaf. I need to hurry and get stronger. This whole time, I've been barely holding on and just getting by. At my current level, not only will I be unable to protect others, but I won't even be able to protect my own goddamn life. Third-rate warrior to first-rate warrior. It took me about 2 months to go from F rank to C rank. If I can train my ass off before the next logout, wouldn't it be possible for me to reach B rank? Wait. He paused for a moment, then stood up and said, that's right. Open quest log. A system notification chimed, ding, no quest in progress. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked and muttered to himself, I don't have any quests in progress? T then. What about the logout quest? A system notification chimed again, ding. You have attained return. Ding. You have earned the title Returner. Ding. You have unlocked a new skill. Jin Tae-kyung stared in confusion. What the hell is this? A returner? New skill? Check title. A system notification chimed, title Returner. Although leaving is easy, coming back to what you have started is a difficult task. Due to the things you've sacrificed and the courage you've shown thus far, you will now be blessed. Effect, all stats 10. Gain access to logout and login skills. Jin Tae-kyung was stunned and couldn't help but smile. In the training room, Jin Moo-kyung meditated, sweat dripping from his brow. For the past 3 years, I've been trying to break through the boundaries that lie in my conception and governing vessel meridians. He thought, time and time again, I've been unsuccessful. But if I break through today, I'll enter a realm far greater than ever before. Today is the day. Suddenly, a burst of aura filled the room. Jin Tae-kyung shouted, let's go! Jin Moo-kyung, startled, collapsed to the ground. What the hell was that just now? Was that my inner demon? Shit. All of the chi I've been G-gathering? It's all. Jin Tae-kyung shouted again, yeah, baby, let's freaking G-go. Jin Moo-kyung groaned, inner demon, my ass. There's no way it would make stupid sounds like that. Jin Tae-kyung shouted, whoa! Jin Moo-kyung growled, Jin Tae-kyung, I'm going to freaking kill you. At the dreadful sword sect, a person handed over a scroll to V-pung and his men, who silently waited. The sect leader, Hwang Gem-mo, read the scroll and muttered to himself, an invitation from the Jin family of Taiwan. No, this is both a summon and a threat. If I don't listen to them, they'll wipe my family and sect from the history of Shaanxi. Not to mention, they sent one of their core martial masters, the sword demon V-pung. If this man is here personally, then that means if I don't heed their call, they'll most likely kill all of us under the pretense that we didn't support them during their last war. If that's the case, we won't have the power to stop them. It seems the Jin family of Taiwan has made the first move. Sect leader Hwang Gem-mo said, we'll make sure to attend. I've been wanting to see the lesser family head for quite some time. This seems like the perfect opportunity to do so. V-pung replied, I'm glad to hear it. It'll be an honor for sect leader Hwang to visit us. He paused and then asked, that's right. I was wondering if you happen to see a suspicious figure around here. Sect leader Hwang Jung-mo raised an eyebrow. A suspicious figure. V-pung said, we've been informed that the one who infiltrated the main family to harm our third young master has made their way over to the dreadful sword. Sect leader Hwang Jung-mo's eyes widened in disbelief. That's not possible. This has to be a mistake. V-peng silently stared at him. Sect leader Hwang Jung-mo trembled. Ha. You're right. This is probably all a misunderstanding. There's no way the dreadful sword sect would do such a thing, since even the heavens know how close our families are. V-peng nodded, unfazed. Thank you for your cooperation. We'll be expecting you on New Year's Day. He mounted his horse and commanded, giddy up. Sect leader Hwang Jung-mo exhaled in relief. Back in the training room, Jin Moo-kyung, frustrated, destroyed the floor. Inner demon, my ass. There's no way it makes sounds like that. Jin Tae-kyung, still hyped, shouted, "Woo-hoo!" Later that night, Jin Wee-kyung huffed and puffed as he sat at his desk, drenched in sweat, muttering, "Ernar." At night, Jin Wee-kyung grimaced as he muttered to himself, "Shit, what a nightmare. I thought I was going to die. I need to hurry and resolve this issue. Otherwise, I'll die from stress. This upcoming new year. If I can unify the Murim sects within Shaanxi, then bringing them under the command of the Jin family of Taiyuan might not be too far off. I just need to hold out until then." Suddenly, he heard a clanking sound. Sklang, dot sklang, dot sklang. Jin Wee-kyung thought, weapon clashing? He opened the door and muttered to himself, at this ungodly hour. He looked toward Jin Moo-kyung's house and thought, wait, it's coming from that direction. Meanwhile, Jin Tae-kyung shouted, log out, log out. A system notification chimed. You are unable to log out during combat. Jin Tae-kyung yelled in disbelief. Are you serious? What kind of bullshit is that? Jin Moo-kyung stood beside him, saying, I believe I clearly explained what the second rule was. It's because of you, you shitty bastard, that I almost fell into chi deviation and nearly ruined my meridian vessels. Jin Tae-kyung yelled as he ran. Ouch! Ack! Log out! Let me log out! Jin Wee-kyung, watching the two fight, thought, log out? QI deviation? Meridian vessels? I have no idea what's going on, but this situation isn't looking good. He opened the door and thought, seems I'll need to intervene. Jin Moo-kyung shouted, why are you leaving your sides completely open? Do you seriously want to get your ass beat? Jin Tae-kyung grunted in pain. Urgh! Jin Moo-kyung scolded him. Don't back off just because you got hit, especially your lower body. Make sure to guard it properly. Jin Tae-kyung winced in pain and shouted, ack! He then started to attack. You. Jin Moo-kyung observed him critically. Oh, you lack the basics. Swinging instinctively and stepping forward. You need to fix those shitty habits of yours. Jin Tae-kyung dropped his sword and was struck in his hand. Ugh, Jin Moo-kyung said coldly. Martial arts are for humans, not wild beasts. Jin Tae-kyung shouted angrily, freak off. Jin Moo-kyung sighed. It seems your memory is also lacking. Go to sleep. After you wake up, I'll make sure to thoroughly explain the rules to you once more. As Jin Tae-kyung was struck in the back and fell to the ground, Jin Moo-kyung said, you can come in now. Jin Wee-kyung flinched at the door. Jin Wee-kyung asked cautiously, you knew I... Jin Moo-kyung replied, it'd be weird if I didn't know. Every time I hit this brat, I could hear you swallowing excessively. Jin Wee-kyung chuckled nervously. Oh, ooh, thank God. It seems he's not hurt too badly. Jin Moo-kyung rolled his eyes. Stop worrying so much. At least he's blessed with an incredible physique. He was able to withstand 4 hours of my beating. With this kind of stamina and chi, I'm sure he'll... He stopped and looked at Jin Wee-kyung. Why are you smiling? Jin Wee-kyung grinned. I'm just amused. Isn't this the first time you're praising our youngest brother? Jin Moo-kyung looked away. Huh? Me? Praising this little shit? He quickly added, I never did such a thing. Jin Wee-kyung smirked. Sure, Jin Moo-kyung snapped. I'm being serious right now. Jin Wee-kyung continued teasing. Of course, whatever you say internally. Jin Wee-kyung thought, little bro, I'm sure your body will end up suffering quite a bit, but you must endure the pain. Jin Moo-kyung snapped again. Are you still laughing at me? Jin Wee-kyung, still smiling, thought, it's commonly known that a prodigy is the only one who can truly understand and guide another prodigy. Jin Wee-kyung said out loud, nope, I did no such thing. Internally, he added, the second brother will most definitely train you to become much sharper and stronger than ever before. This is all for your sake. Jin Moo-kyung said, eldest brother. Jin Wee-kyung said, I'll be taking my leave now. Jin Moo-kyung said, where are you going? Take this brat with you as well. You should know that I only stopped here today because you were here. If you don't take him back, then you'll probably have to send the head physician over here tomorrow. Jin Wee-kyung said, I'll be leaving that decision to you. Jin Moo-kyung said, excuse me? Jin Wee-kyung said, I'm telling you to do whatever you deem best. Jin Moo-kyung said, eldest brother. Jin Wee-kyung said to himself, second brother. I'm sure this will be a good learning opportunity for you as well. A few hours later, in the morning, Jin Tae-kyung rested in his bed, still taking longer than expected to recover. Suddenly, Jin Moo-kyung shouted, Oi! Jin Tae-kyung didn't flinch or wake up. Jin Moo-kyung said sternly, I already know you're awake. Hurry up and answer me. Jin Tae-kyung shot up immediately. Get greetings, senior brother. He thought to himself, freak, being weak is a crime. Jin Moo-kyung glared at him. Oi, What's with your eyes? You mad about something? Jin Taekyung nervously stammered, Heek! Eh? My eyes? What's wrong with my eyes, senior brother? Jin Moo-kyung sighed deeply. You little sigh. You better watch yourself. Jin Tae-kyung responded quickly, Yes, sir. Jin Moo-kyung then said, Anyhow, about yesterday. Jin Tae-kyung quickly apologized. It was entirely my fault. I definitely deserved that beating since I made a loud ruckus while you were in the midst of your training. Jin Moo-kyung responded dryly. That's not what I was getting at. Jin Tae-kyung winced. Oh no, I'm sure your hands must hurt from hitting me yesterday. Allow me to blow on them and make them feel better. Jin Moo-kyung sighed in frustration. What the hell is wrong with you? Got something? A screw loose or whatever? He glared at Jin Tae-kyung. Come outside for a bit. Jin Tae-kyung hesitated, still bracing himself against the wall. Jin Moo-kyung snapped, the training ground. Jin Tae-kyung's eyes widened in shock. Is he planning to beat me again? Jin Moo-kyung snorted. I'm not going to hurt you, you little shit. You're going to be training starting today. Jin Tae-kyung was still confused. Training? That's right, that shitty martial arts of yours. I'll need to teach you from the ground up. Jin Tae-kyung's heart raced. What the hell? A guy who seemed to want to beat me every chance he got is now saying he'll help me train? Not to mention, he's sacrificing his own training time? Jin Moo-kyung rolled his eyes. Freaking hell. Our eldest brother visited us last night. Do you know why he sent you over to me instead of letting you stay in one of the empty buildings? Jin Tae-kyung blinked. Then, is he saying Jin Wee-kyung did all of this on purpose? Jin Moo-kyung sighed. I should have refused him from the start. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, Your attitude is all over the place. It seems you really don't want to train me at all. But he quickly steeled himself. But I guess I can't give up on this opportunity. Jin Tae-kyung nodded and said, Then I'll be in your care, senior brother. Jin Moo-kyung narrowed his eyes. Think carefully before you respond. I won't go easy on you. If you start complaining because the training is too hard, then you might as well give up now. Jin Tae-kyung responded with determination. I want to become stronger. Both Jin Tae-kyung and Jin Moo-kyung exchanged a serious look. Jin Moo-kyung finally said, Then meet me at the training ground. Suddenly, a system notification chimed. Ding, you've unlocked a new quest. The system continued. Ding. Is this actually training or a trial? During the allotted time you've been granted, you must receive guidance from Jin Moo-kyung. If you do not become stronger or satisfy Jin Moo-kyung's expectations, you will most definitely fail this quest. Rank peak restriction, only for Jin Tae-kyung objectives. Gain Jin Moo-kyung's approval incomplete quest reward. Unknown quest failure. Unknown time left. 9 days, 23 hours, 51 minutes, 10 seconds. Jin Tae-kyung read the notification to himself. Gain Jin Moo-kyung's approval. Let's do this. Jin Moo-kyung's voice cut through his thoughts. Ah, you use a spear, right? Bring that with you. Jin Tae-kyung frowned. Why do I need that? Jin Moo-kyung smirked. The best type of training comes from real combat experience. You've never heard that saying before? I've already gotten permission from our eldest brother. He also said I can summon the head physician if necessary. Jin Tae-kyung was silent, but after Jin Moo-kyung left, he muttered, Log out. A system notification chimed in response. Beep! You are unable to log out when a quest is in progress. Jin Tae-kyung gritted his teeth in frustration. Mother cracker. Outside, Jin Tae-kyung and Jin Moo-kyung stood facing each other. Jin Tae-kyung held his spear, while Jin Moo-kyung wielded a wooden sword. Jin Moo-kyung observed him with a calculating gaze. This brat. His entire aura changed as soon as he lifted his spear. Jin Moo-kyung nodded in approval. At least your form isn't bad. Jin Tae-kyung straightened his stance. You better prepare yourself. It's not going to be an easy fight. The two stared at each other, the tension thick. Jin Moo-kyung's voice rang out. I told you before, make sure your eyes aren't wavering. As the sunlight blazed overhead, Jin Moo-kyung immediately attacked with his wooden sword. Jin Tae-kyung barely blocked the strike with his spear, but Jin Moo-kyung managed to land a blow to his stomach. Jin Tae-kyung winced in pain. Ugh. As he fell to the ground, Jin Moo-kyung muttered, what the hell happened to him? Jin Moo-kyung thought to himself, not only does he have inhuman stamina, getting back up after fainting 4 times, but he's also able to withstand 200 of my attacks. Even the disciples from prestigious families spend their entire lives training and barely reach the first-rate warrior stage. But to think he attained that in just under 3 years. Suddenly, Jin Tae-kyung snored softly. Jin Moo-kyung frowned. Am I seriously supposed to consider him a prodigy? A few moments later, Jin Tae-kyung muttered in his sleep. Senior sister WOY, you're going too far. Jin Moo-kyung was taken aback. Nah, there's no way in hell he is. No, I refuse to believe it. He shouted, wake up, you little shit. Jin Tae-kyung groaned. No, don't touch me there. Later, Jin Moo-kyung said, do you know why I entered the Heavenly Martial Academy? Jin Tae-kyung blinked. Because you couldn't stand the sight of me? Jin Moo-kyung raised an eyebrow. Oh, you're pretty smart. That's partially true, but there was another important reason. Jin Tae-kyung looked puzzled. And what would that be? Jin Moo-kyung sighed. Our family no longer had anything left to teach me. I needed something new. That's why the Heavenly Martial Academy sent me a letter of invitation, and I didn't have a reason to refuse them. Jin Tae-kyung thought for a moment. Then what about the Jin family spear technique? Jin Moo-kyung scoffed. I just told you, there was nothing left for me to learn. Jin Tae-kyung narrowed his eyes. No. Didn't you only learn the Jin family's sword technique? Jin Moo-kyung looked at him incredulously. Huh? Do you not eat your side dishes when you eat rice? Jin Tae-kyung was confused. Well, that's a different matter. Jin Moo-kyung smirked. No, it's the same to me. Jin Tae-kyung muttered to himself. But how is that possible? I've tried learning different types of weapon techniques, and even mastering one was hard enough. Jin Moo-kyung shook his head. It seems you're a bit confused. I guess it'll be faster for me to show you instead. A few moments later, Jin Moo-kyung stepped forward and muttered, mumble, I should probably go with this. With a swift motion, he swung his sword rapidly. His eyes suddenly turned red as he struck the steel dummy. Jin Tae-kyung gasped in shock, his mind racing as he recalled a particular skill. That's, Jin Moo-kyung smirked, thrust of the heavenly crown. It's the last foundational technique of the Jin family's spear technique. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, I knew he was a genius, but... Wait, Jin Moo-kyung said, it's technically the Jin family sword technique now? He frowned, trying to process the thought. But he was able to instantly turn a spear technique into a sword technique with only a few moves? What if I could do the same with all martial arts? Jin Moo-kyung snapped, Oi, are you listening to me? Before Jin Tae-kyung could react, he was struck on the head, causing him to shout in pain. Ack! Jin Moo-kyung gritted his teeth. I went through all that trouble of demonstrating this to you, and you dare not pay attention? Jin Tae-kyung rubbed his head. Ouch! That's not eat. Jin Moo-kyung sighed, clearly frustrated. Whatever. It's hard to explain all of this with words. It's better for you to try it out for yourself. Jin Tae-kyung scrambled to his feet, rushing to grab his spear. Hold on a second. He cursed under his breath as he picked it up. Shit, give me a break. Jin Moo-kyung glared at him. In a real fight, your opponent isn't going to wait for you. Are you going to say those words to an enemy who's about to kill you? Jin Tae-kyung swung his spear. Ha! But Jin Moo-kyung vanished in the blink of an eye. Jin Moo-kyung's voice rang out from behind. First, when you're faced with an enemy far above your level, you must attack cautiously. Jin Tae-kyung suddenly felt a sharp pain as Jin Moo-kyung's palm struck his stomach, leaving an imprint. He staggered backward, grunting in pain. Urgh! Jin Moo-kyung chuckled darkly. There's no need for you to be so scared. I won't use the full strength of my chi on my adorable younger brother. Jin Tae-kyung gritted his teeth. If you truly care about me, then why don't you get rid of that wooden sword of yours? Jin Moo-kyung raised an eyebrow. And why would I do that? This is the best way for you to gain experience. Jin Tae-kyung groaned in frustration. Arr! Determined, he tried again, swinging his spear with more force. Ha! Jin Moo-kyung grinned as he evaded easily. First teaching of the Jin family sword technique, Jin Moo-kyung declared with a smirk. Jin Tae-kyung was thrown off balance. Huh? Jin Moo-kyung shouted, Gust of the Lone Dragon! Jin Tae-kyung tried to block, but the blow hit him square in the stomach. He cried out in pain. Ack! Jin Moo-kyung's voice was calm but cutting. Second, never forget the fact that while you were busy fooling around with women and getting piss drunk, I was pouring my blood, sweat, and tears into training and honing my skills. Jin Tae-kyung, still reeling in pain, thought to himself, Freak. Jin Moo-kyung's voice broke through his thoughts. Get up. Stop being a baby. Jin Tae-kyung's hand trembled with anger, and he thought, playing around with girls and getting drunk. Don't make me laugh. I was the same. He clenched his fist, fury rising. When others were busy dating their girlfriends, I spent my entire time fighting monsters and running gates, you shitty bastard. With a yell, he charged at Jin Moo-kyung. Ah! He struck with his, but suddenly, clang! His attack was deflected. The pain shot through his hand. Ack! What the hell? That fucking hurt. My hand. Jin Moo-kyung remained calm. Third, commit to your attacks only after fully understanding your opponent's intentions. He produced a chest plate made of steel and held it up. Jin Tae-kyung scoffed. Why the fuck are you wearing shit like that? Jin Moo-kyung shook his head. Fourth, you must never slack off when it comes to endurance training. Jin Tae-kyung winced. Fifth, but Jin Tae-kyung couldn't take any more. Ah, freak, I quit. I'm done with this bullshit. He winced in pain, clutching his broken hand. I'm pretty sure I broke my hand. Jin Moo-kyung raised an eyebrow. You quit? That's it? Just with that much? Before Jin Tae-kyung could respond, he was struck in the arms and legs, sending him crashing to the ground. He groaned in pain. Ack, my arms, my legs, they're completely fine, but it fucking hurts. Jin Moo-kyung looked down at him with cold eyes. You just lost your arms and legs to a martial master from the underworld who is 100 times stronger and more violent than you. Jin Tae-kyung gritted his teeth. What kind of bullshit are you spouting? You're the one who attacked me. Jin Moo-kyung's voice was sharp. And if your opponent was more vicious than that, they would have used a different method. Suddenly, Jin Tae-kyung felt a sharp pain as his pressure points were struck. What the hell? He thought before collapsing to the ground. He saw system notifications flash before his eyes and heard 2 beeps. A system notification chimed. Your meridians have been sealed. Your body will remain paralyzed for 2 hours. Another system notification chimed. Your vital points have been sealed. You will not be able to make a sound for 2 hours. Jin Tae-kyung's mind raced. What the fuck? Jin Moo-kyung's voice rang out, calm and cold. The suppression of vessels and vitals is an extremely cruel technique. Your chi becomes distorted, your mind foggy, and at the bare minimum, this effect lasts for an hour. Even if you miraculously survive the attack, there will be permanent damage. You'll either go insane or become a cripple. Jin Tae-kyung struggled to keep his thoughts clear. Is he seriously planning to kill me? Jin Moo-kyung continued, his tone chilling. Do you think you can endure that kind of torment? It's even possible that you'll forget who you are as a person. Just then, a system notification chimed. You have detected a large amount of bloodlust. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, this fucker. Jin Moo-kyung's voice broke the silence, as if sensing Jin Tae-kyung's rising panic. But, rest assured, Jin Tae-kyung exhaled a relieved breath. Whew. Yeah, I figured as much. There's no way he'd actually kill his younger brother. Jin Moo-kyung's next words were a cruel surprise. I'll make sure to deliver a swift and painless death. Jin Tae-kyung's eyes widened. Wait, a real sword? When did he? He froze, his heart pounding. Is he actually going to pierce me? Jin Moo-kyung said, coldly, farewell. Jin Tae-kyung's mind screamed, shit, what kind of fucked up situation is this? Before he could react, Jin Moo-kyung stabbed him in the throat. Jin Tae-kyung gasped, feeling the agonizing pain. But to his shock, Jin Moo-kyung simply looked down at him. Hurry and get up. Jin Tae-kyung, confused, croaked out, huh? A system notification chimed. Ding! Your meridians have been freed. Your body is no longer paralyzed. Another system notification chimed. Ding! Your vital points have been restored. You are now able to talk freely. Jin Tae-kyung blinked in disbelief. What the hell just happened? I'm sure I felt the sensation of a blade piercing my skin. Was I wrong? Jin Moo-kyung's voice was quiet, almost eerie. Keep this in mind. You have died once today. A few moments of silence passed as Jin Moo-kyung continued. Whether you died from losing your limbs, from having your vitals and vessels destroyed, or from decapitation, the only difference is the amount of pain. It doesn't change the fact that you were killed. Never forget that. Jin Tae-kyung clenched his fists, filled with rage. You psychotic bastard. Jin Moo-kyung's gaze was sharp. And what's the point you're trying to get at? Jin Moo-kyung's voice grew darker. I'm trying to emphasize that your lifespan is getting shorter by the minute. Jin Tae-kyung frowned in confusion. Huh? Jin Moo-kyung continued, his words cutting deeper. You're a halfling. You're not a true martial warrior, nor a truly skilled vagabond. You're half of both. A poor bastard like you wouldn't even last a day in the real world of Muram. The sleeping dragon of Shaanxi, first-rate warrior? Even a passing dog would laugh at the sight of you. Jin Tae-kyung's eyes widened, his mind reeling. A halfling. Jin Moo-kyung's expression was cold as he spoke again. You don't even know the basics of fighting. That's why you're a sore sight to any martial warrior and an outcast to any skilled vagabond. Don't ever think that your luck is a skill. Jin Tae-kyung was unable to hold back. Then what about my fight with Joe Peel? Are you saying that was all luck? Jin Moo-kyung scoffed. One word, one strike. He sneered. Joe Peel? Everyone knows that the third young master of the Jin family of Taiyuan is a lazy bastard. Do you really believe that Joe Peel wasn't aware of that fact? He was a fool for letting his guard down when he confronted you. I also wouldn't be surprised if you had something hidden up your sleeves to overturn that fight in your favor. Jin Tae-kyung's eyes narrowed. This bastard. How did he know? Jin Moo-kyung grinned darkly. So, let me rephrase my point. That's as far as your luck will carry you. The real world of Murim is filled with monsters. They won't let their guard down like Joe Pill. And do you know why? It's because, to them, you're no longer the useless third young master of the Jin family of Taiyuan. You're now the sleeping dragon of Shaanxi. Jin Tae-kyung's breath caught in his throat as he was struck with a terrifying realization. A long moment of silence passed, with Jin Moo-kyung observing him quietly. Jin Tae-kyung lowered his gaze, then spoke in a soft but determined voice. Then, I hope my older brother can help me get stronger to survive as the sleeping dragon of Shaanxi. A small laugh escaped him. Please help me, brother. You said I was your adorable younger brother. Jin Moo-kyung stared at him in surprise. Huh, Tish, for someone who claims to be a martial warrior, you sure asked for a lot of help. In an instant, Jin Tae-kyung felt the sharp sting of a slap across his face. Ow! Jin Tae-kyung shouted in pain. What's wrong with asking for help from my own brother? Jin Moo-kyung looked at him with an unamused expression. Hey, you haven't been talking formally to me this whole time. Jin Tae-kyung blinked. Eh, really? Jin Moo-kyung's expression softened, but only slightly. All right, that's it. Go get your spear. I'm going to train you at maximum difficulty. First day of training, I've decided to start writing in my journal. I'm doing this to better retain everything I've learned each day. Under Jin Moo-kyung's guidance, I spent the whole day wielding my spear. My days are spent fighting him in matches. Even though I keep getting my ass beat, it's bearable. This is the first time in my life I'm using traditional ink and brush to write something. It's pretty fun. Second day of training. Once again, I spent the entire day fighting and wielding my spear. Because of this, my strength and stamina stats have risen quite a bit, and I've also reached 9th mastery in the Jin family's spear technique. Also, I realize there's a benefit to getting my ass beaten every day. My EXP goes up a lot faster compared to training by myself. I think I should start spending some of my time learning peak spiritual realm martial arts, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea, since Jin Moo-kyung might have other plans for me. Anyway, grinding ink and writing with this brush is pretty damn annoying. I'm going to bed. Third day of training, he's still teaching me the Jin family spear technique. I asked if he could teach me something else, but he got pissed and beat me again. He's a fucking dick. Anyway, while I was busy dodging his attacks, my Jin family's foot technique reached 8th mastery. Fuck, why does this have to be so effective? Fourth day of training. Ever since starting this training program, I've only gotten 2 hours of sleep each night. It's been a non-stop cycle of Jin Moo-kyung training me, then fighting me, then training me again, then fighting me again. He also says eating meals is a waste of time, so I've been surviving off grain pills. I've been relying on the system for a while, but I'm slowly reaching my limit. 5th day of training. I'm exhausted. I barely managed to grind any ink today. The sun is setting. I'm going to sleep. 6th day of training. I have no idea why the system doesn't have some sort of memo or note function. Grinding ink pissed me off, so I ended up breaking the inkstone. Jin Moo-kyung got mad and hit me. 7th day of training, I've attained 9th mastery in the Jin family's foot technique. I also leveled up. I've been using the foot technique so often that I now use them even when walking normally. It actually scared me. 8th day of training. I don't know why, but for some reason my hands and feet didn't move the way I wanted today. Even though I've been practicing the same techniques tens of thousands of times, it felt like I'd completely forgotten them. Jin Moo-kyung told me this is normal and just part of a phase. 9th day of training, I finally get it now. I slid back from a blow, and suddenly, Jin Moo-kyung's sword shattered. He said, "What a close victory." My wooden spear began to glow as I gripped it tightly. So this is the full extent of the Jin family spear technique. I thought to myself, I can't believe I haven't even been using half of its potential until now. Suddenly, multiple system notifications chimed. Ding! You have mastered the Jin family spear technique. Ding! You have mastered the Jin family's foot technique. Ding! You have completed an achievement, first rate in martial arts. Ding! You have gained an enormous amount of exp. Ding! Level up. Jin Tae-kyung couldn't believe his eyes. Whoa, I didn't even finish my quest yet. Why am I leveling up so much? Ding! Level up. Ding! For completing your achievement, you have been rewarded with the skill scroll crafting. Jin Tae-kyung was stunned. Huh? Scroll crafting? He paused to think. Mastery over martial arts. It means you have complete understanding of your techniques and can freely execute them without trouble, even if I've attained a relatively high spiritual realm. Mastering 2 first-rate martial arts in under 10 days is a miracle on its own. Jin Moo-kyung stood staring at his broken wooden sword. Unbelievable, he thought to himself. I only wanted to train him to fix his bad habits and poor foundations, but who would have thought he'd achieve the impossible? He sighed, inspecting his younger brother. Ignoring the slight differences in posture and form, he's pretty much flawless. His strength, stamina, and agility far exceed martial artists of the same rank, and he's improving at an alarming rate. Jin Tae-kyung focused for a moment, remembering his experience in the real world as a hunter for 7 years. Jin Tae-kyung looked around, pondering. Scroll crafting? Jin Moo-kyung continued to himself. It's hard to believe that a whiny brat like him, who only wanted to build muscles to impress girls, has changed this much in less than 3 years. I mean, he is far from being divine god of ward, but it is almost as if he is a system notification chimed and said skill, scroll crafting, rank, none realm. First mastery, you are able to procure martial scrolls based on the martial arts you have mastered. Currently craftable, Jin family spear technique. Jin family's foot technique. Jin Tae-kyung scratched his cheek in annoyance. Since it's a new skill, I was pretty excited, but it's fucking useless. Well, I guess it's still better than nothing. Suddenly, the broken wooden sword hit him in the head. Ack! Jin Tae-kyung yelped in pain. Jin Moo-kyung barked. Why are you spacing out? Jin Tae-kyung scowled. Ah, fuck. Why do you keep hitting my head? Jin Moo-kyung replied sternly. And who told you it was okay to look away during a match? In any case, your training is finished, Jin Moo-kyung added. Ding! A system notification chimed. Jin Moo-kyung has decided to end your training. Ding! Your remaining time shall be consumed. Ding! Passing or failing your quest shall be determined by Jin Moo-kyung's evaluation. A few moments later, Jin Moo-kyung glanced at Jin Tae-kyung and said, You're still far from being done. It took you 10 days just to reach this point. What a waste of my... He suddenly paused and frowned. Huh? What's with your expression? Jin Tae-kyung smirked and said, What do you mean? Jin Moo-kyung scowled. I'm talking about that retarded expression of yours. Jin Tae-kyung barely held back his smile and tried to cover it, but it slipped. Pff! Heh! Ee-hee! Ding! A system notification chimed again. You have satisfied the quest conditions. Ding! You have completed your Is this actually training or a trial? Quest. Ding! Level up. Your reward from this quest has been placed in your inventory. Ding! You have exceeded all expectations and have been given the highest reward. Jin Tae-kyung grinned and pointed at Jin Moo-kyung. Jin Moo-kyung, 25 years old. It seems you're still a bashful child, he teased. Jin Moo-kyung's face turned red with irritation. You little, what kind of bullshit are you spouting? Jin Tae-kyung laughed. Nia ha ha. Don't worry about it, being a shy boy at your age is completely fine. Jin Moo-kyung fumed. You fucking bastard. Jin Tae-kyung winced. Ack! Are you going to hit me again? Before Jin Moo-kyung could respond, someone entered the room. Young masters? Both Jin Moo-kyung and Jin Tae-kyung looked at the man, confused. The man continued, The lesser family head has summoned both of you. A few moments later, Jin Moo-kyung asked, Where do you want us to go? The man replied, Mount Hang Sword Sect. They'll become important guests for the upcoming summit. Jin Moo-kyung frowned. But why do you need us? No, why do you need me to go there? Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, Look at this bastard, trying to weasel his way out of this situation. The man answered, It's because the sect leader of the Mount Hang Sword Sect specifically requested you. Jin Moo-kyung froze in confusion. The sect leader? Jin Tae-kyung blinked, remembering something. The Mount Hang Sword Sect? Jin Moo-kyung said, I thought their previous sect leader, the bloodhound Lee Cheon-baek, and most of their martial masters perished at the 8th Heavenly Valley, and their second son, Lee Seo-gun, was poisoned to death. I also heard their first son was killed by mountain bandits. If all of this is true, how is it possible that the Mount Hang Sword Sect still has a leader? Shouldn't they have sealed off their gates? The lesser family head responded, They're still one of the renowned families in Shaanxi province. That's why we can never ignore the potential they possess. As long as the brains of their sect are alive, they can always make a comeback. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. Their brains? Who would that be? The man replied, Lee Seo-wol. Jin Tae-kyung's confusion deepened. Lee Seo-wol? When you say Lee Seo-wol, is that the bastard child of Lee Cheon-baek? Maybe a distant relative? The man shook his head. It seems you don't remember. Jin Tae-kyung blinked. Huh? Is it someone I should know? The lesser family head sighed. The new sect leader of the Mount Hang Sword Sect is a woman. She is the third child of Lee Cheon-baek and the only sister to the late Lee Seo-gun. Jin Tae-kyung fell silent. Memories flooded his mind, and he recalled what Lee Seo-gon had shouted at him. "You're the bastard who ripped off my sister's clothes and tried to rape her." Jin Tae-kyung's eyes widened in horror. "Ah." Jin Woo-kyung noticed and asked, "Huh, you two know each other?" Jin Tae-kyung winced in fear. "Oh fuck." Jin Woo-kyung nodded knowingly. "So, the request from the newly appointed sect leader of the Mount Hang Sword sect." Jin Woo-kyung, "All right, then that means I don't have to go. Bye." Jin Woo-kyung caught his arm. "Hey, hold on a second. If you go, there's a practitioner willing to share some of their peak realm martial scrolls with you." Jin Woo-kyung, now intrigued, turned back. "A martial scroll fanatic?" he exclaimed. "When do we leave?" Jin Woo-kyung grinned. "Immediately." Ding! A system notification chimed. Quest: Yesterday's enemy is today's friend. Now that the truth has been revealed, the Mount Hang Sword sect is no longer your foe, but rather an important ally you must become acquainted with. Before the next summit, make sure to bring him over to the Jin family of Taiyuan. Rank, first-rate objective. Deliver the invitation letter. Incomplete quest reward. Unknown quest failure. No penalty. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, this quest isn't too difficult. And there's no penalty for failure. I just need to deliver the invitation letter, and that's IIT. Even though I'm glad that's all I have to do for this quest that was forced on me, I can't help but feel a little worried since it's way too easy. In any case, what's more important than that is, Jin Tae-kyung said, then abruptly logged out. A system notification chimed. Ding! Message. Do you want to log out? Yes or no, Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself. I can log out even during a quest. I should probably finish my contract with Leader Choi and also test out my newly developed martial arts. Jin Woo-kyung looked over and said, going by carriage should take us a few days to get there, hitting the window. Suddenly, someone outside shouted, Oi, horseman, go faster. The chauffeur replied, First of all, I'm not a horseman. Second, I can't go any faster than this. You probably aren't aware, but it's freezing cold out here, and the roads are frozen. This is the fastest we can go. Jin Woo-kyung responded, What? Then if you're not a horseman, why are you sitting there? The chauffeur shrugged. Well, before we left, you told all the traveling attendants to piss off because they were getting in the way. And it just so happened that the horseman was among them. Jin Woo-kyung groaned. Ah, right. So who the hell are you? Just then, Hyuk-moo-jin opened the window, his face freezing from the cold. Jin Woo-kyung quickly shut the window, muttering, Oh, it's that stupid bastard. Hyuk-moo-jin yelled from outside. My name is Hyuk-moo-jin. Jin Woo-kyung scowled. Why didn't you leave with the others? You should have brought the horseman instead. Hyuk-moo-jin replied. I only obey the third young master's orders. Jin Woo-kyung raised an eyebrow. Oh, is that so? You two sure seem to get along well. Then he looked at Jin Tae-kyung and asked, What the hell are you doing? Jin Tae-kyung casually replied, Chi meditation. Jin Woo-kyung sneered, What do you mean? It looks like you're trying to sleep. Jin Tae-kyung mocked him. I'm circulating my chi. Chi meditation. You know what will happen if you disturb me, right? Chi deviation. Do you understand now? Jin Woo-kyung stood up and scowled. You little. Jin Tae-kyung quickly closed his eyes, then peeked at Jin Woo-kyung. Seeing that Jin Woo-kyung was sitting quietly, he muttered to himself, I don't know if I can leave my precious body in his care. Jin Woo-kyung sighed. Fine, I'll let it slide this time. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, anyhow, the time has come. A system notification chimed again. Ding! Message. Do you want to log out? Yes or no? Jin Tae-kyung quickly selected yes. In the real world, at Jin Tae-kyung's apartment, everything was quiet. Suddenly, steam billowed through him as he stepped out, sweating and grimacing. Oh, it's so hot. What a crappy apartment complex. I need to move out of this place. He glanced at his phone. The timer showed 2:05:35. 44 since I spent about 20 days in the other world. That means 10 days equals an hour in this world. His phone rang and a message from leader Choi Min-woo popped up. Same time and place tomorrow. Please don't forget. Jin Tae-kyung remembered the conversation with leader Choi Min-woo earlier and sighed. It's even possible that I'll need to raise the terms tomorrow. He wiped the sweat from his forehead and thought, should I get my rank reevaluated? Let's first take a shower. The next day, at RTS Bucks Coffee, Jin Tae-kyung signed the contract with his Mont Blanc pen. A system notification chimed. Ding. You have joined the guild. Peace. Ding. You have finished signing your guild contract. Ding. For completing this achievement, you have gained 10 points. Jin Tae-kyung stared at the screen. I didn't think something like this would be an achievement. He looked at leader Choi Min-woo and said, I'll be in your care. Leader Choi Min-woo smiled. My pleasure. He tucked the Mont Blanc pen back into his pocket and said, "By the way, didn't you mention that I should raise the terms of your contract yesterday? Are you sure you're okay with signing it as is?" Jin Tae-kyung laughed. "I was just messing with you." "Ah ha ha. It's impossible for someone to change that much in just one day, right?" Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, a down payment of $500,000, a monthly pay of $50,000, and a 70% claim ratio. Not to mention, I'll have my own house and car provided by the guild. This is all something I could never have imagined 3 months ago. That's why there's no need to raise suspicion by getting my rank reevaluated. I just need to be satisfied with what I have right now. 'Tis hard to imagine that I am the sleeping dragon of Shang-Chi in the Murim world, while I am a hunter that is earning bank in this world. Leader Choi Min-woo nodded. "I'll finish processing the contract by tonight. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask," Jin Tae-kyung interrupted. Leader Choi Min-woo looked up. "Yes?" Jin Tae-kyung, slightly apprehensive, said, "Please slap my face. I just want to make sure this isn't all up." Before he could finish, Leader Choi Min-woo immediately slapped him across the face, and it sounded with a loud smack. Jin Tae-kyung yelped, "Ack! What the hell? You really slapped me without hesitation?" Leader Choi Min-woo shrugged. "I'm the type who can't turn down a request. Anyway, are you awake now?" Jin Tae-kyung, still in shock, nodded. "Yes, I'm most definitely awake." Leader Choi Min-woo grinned. "That's good to hear. It's always best to meet others when you're feeling fresh." Jin Tae-kyung blinked, confused. "Meet others? What do you mean by that?" Leader Choi Min-woo replied, "Your guild members. Who else?" Jin Tae-kyung froze, a realization dawning on him. "Ah, let's get going," Leader Choi Min-woo said as the van arrived. A few moments later, Jin Tae-kyung shouted at the tall building, "Whoa, the district where all the top 100 guilds are gathered. Let's go. The time has come for me to live a luxurious life as a hunter." A few moments later, they arrived at their building. Jin Tae-kyung looked around in disappointment. "Wow, why is there a rundown building here?" Leader Choi Min-woo replied, "That's our guild house." Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, even if it's inside a reputable district, if the guild looks shabby, then what's the point? Couldn't Leader Choi do better than this? He muttered under his breath. Leader Choi Min-woo turned to Butler Kim and asked, "Butler Kim, how much did it cost to buy this place?" Butler Kim Hwa-jong answered, "A little over $2 million. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, actually, I should just be happy I'm able to come to this place. Most guilds would never offer such an opportunity. Jin Tae-kyung then held Leader Choi Min-woo's soft hands and said, "Leader Choi, I don't care if our guild house is a small supermarket or a rundown building. I promise I'll give it my all." Leader Choi Min-woo smiled awkwardly. Sure, I'll be thankful if you do that." Just then, a sign fell to the ground. Leader Choi Min-woo sighed. "This place will look better with a little remodeling." Im Hyuk-jun, appearing from inside, commented, "My goodness, looks like this plaque fell down again." He picked up the sign and looked over at Jin Tae-kyung. "Huh? Mr. Rough Guy," Jin Tae-kyung said. Im Hyuk-jun grinned. "Oh, Tae-kyung, how have you been? I heard you reached C rank." Jin Tae-kyung nodded. "Yeah, I did. But wait, why are you here?" Im Hyuk-jun laughed. "Haha, what do you mean? Is it wrong for a guild member to be at their guild house?" While I was recuperating in the hospital, Leader Choi came and asked if I'd like to join his guild. He didn't have to ask twice. I immediately accepted. Leader Choi Min-woo smiled warmly. "That's because I could tell you're a trustworthy person." Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. "Wait, did you recently join this guild?" Im Hyuk-jun nodded. "Yep. He may be young, but he's a good man." "Mr. Kim might be a little quiet, but he's also," Jin Tae-kyung interrupted. "Then have you been able to meet the other guild members? It's not just the 4 of us here, right?" Im Hyuk-jun smiled. "Of course not." Jin Tae-kyung sighed in relief. "Whew, that's good too." Im Hyuk-jun suddenly shouted, "Oh, speak of the devil. Miss Song, over here, we got a new recruit." Jin Tae-kyung turned, confused. Im Hyuk-jun waved and continued, "Including Miss Song. It's 5 of us in total." Then, a beautiful, sexy woman named Miss Song Song walked in, carrying bags of groceries. Miss Song Song, with her sultry voice, greeted them. "Hi there, you guys came earlier than I thought." Leader Choi Min-woo took a bag from her and said, "Why did you buy so much? I already reserved a place for us to eat." Miss Song Song shrugged. "Why are we going there? It's expensive and doesn't give a lot of food. I think it'll be better if we just cook up our own meal." Im Hyuk-jun excitedly chimed in. "She bought alcohol and meat." Jin Tae-kyung looked around, still processing the situation. "It's only the 5 of us. That evening, their super small guild had a welcoming party for him. As they dined together, Jin Tae-kyung observed a few things. He noticed Miss Song Song's level was 64. She smiled and said, "Nice to meet you. My name is Song Song." Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, first, Miss Song is the only female, as well as the only healer in our guild. Second, to my surprise, the master of our guild is Butler Kim. Level 80, full name Kim Hwa-jong. Butler Kim smiled and said, "Oh ho," as he worked on cooking the pork. Leader Choi Min-woo spoke up. "From now on, we'll be addressing Butler Kim as our guild master. Any objections?" Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, before his retirement, he was supposedly a well-known, high-level magician active during the Great War era. Butler Kim Hwa-jong started the flames to cook the meat, and Im Hyuk-jun, wide-eyed, whispered, "Magic." Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, he still possesses a considerable amount of power. Third, Jin Tae-kyung knew the #1 guild was the legendary Aries Guild, the strongest guild that rose to prominence during the Great War. Butler Kim, Leader Choi, and Miss Song were elites among elites, all former members of Aries Guild. Leader Choi Min-woo sipped his cheap table wine and said, "I was the team leader of Aries Guild in the past. Miss Song was my guild member during that time as well." Jin Tae-kyung observed them as they toasted, then thought, and lastly, the day after the welcoming party would mark the first raid for the Peace Guild. As Butler Kim Hwa-jong drove the van quickly, Jin Tae-kyung looked out the window in confusion. "What is this?" Leader Choi Min-woo explained. "It's an enchanted tablet powered by C-rank magic ores. Only a handful of VIP elites have the opportunity to get their hands on this device." Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. "But why are you showing this to me?" Leader Choi Min-woo handed him the tablet. "I've uploaded footage of the raid we're about to do today. Take a look." Jin Tae-kyung tapped on the screen, eager to see what lay ahead. As the video played, the people on screen said, "All right, let's take it slow, guys. Especially the tanks. Make sure to have your shields up at all times. If they get past you, then we're all going to be in trouble. I mean, you guys will be in trouble with me first if that happens." "Ha ha ha. Yes, sir. As for the archers and mages, make sure to focus on one target when I give the signal." "Yes, sir." "Sounds good," Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself. They have 4 tanks, some melee DPs, range DPs, and even healers. Looks like their team composition is pretty solid. Leader Choi Min-woo spoke up. "Ah, that's right. The gate we're running today is a B rank. The Hunters Association calls it." As the video continued, the people on screen shouted, "They're here. Get into formation." The Minotaur roared in anger. Leader Choi Min-woo said, "The labyrinth of the Minotaurs." The Minotaur's roar echoed loudly. Jin Tae-kyung continued watching as arrows struck the Minotaur. The others charged at the party, and the battle began. One Minotaur burned, while a warrior stabbed it in the side. The fight continued as the Minotaur slashed at them. The video cut off suddenly. Jin Tae-kyung and Im Hyuk-jun stood in silence. Jin Tae-kyung asked, "What was the end result?" Leader Choi Min-woo replied, "There were 5 B-rank hunters and 10 C-rank hunters. They annihilated the Minotaurs, but 2 hunters died in the process." Im Hyuk-jun frowned. This place seems pretty rough. Is it really okay for me to go there? My gear isn't the best since it all got destroyed during our last raid." Leader Choi Min-woo reassured him, "Don't worry. I've already picked out gear that's well suited for your position." Im Hyuk-jun's eyes widened. "Holy crap, really? As expected of our leader." Leader Choi Min-woo chuckled. Hunter Im's gear set was developed by North America's greatest fader engineer, Nicholas, who, Im Hyuk-jun interrupted. "Since Leader Choi picked it out for us, I'm sure it'll be great." "Thank you. I'll wear it well." A few moments later, Im Hyuk-jun turned to Miss Song Song. "My armor looks pretty cool. What do you think?" Miss Song Song smiled. "Yeah, it definitely suits you." Jin Tae-kyung looked around and asked, "What about your gear, Butler Kim?" Butler Kim Hwa-jong smiled mysteriously. "Oh, I'm always wearing my gear." Leader Choi Min-woo, slightly annoyed, said, "I told you to address him as our guild master." The officer spoke up. "Peace Guild, 2 B-rank hunters, 2 C-rank hunters, 1 E-rank hunter in the other party." Yirin asked her companion, "We're seriously going to be fine, right?" Her companion responded confidently, "This Oppa will protect you, Yirin." A nervous girl said, "I heard people died during this raid." The officer continued, "Sangdong Guild, 5 B-rank hunters, 10 C-rank hunters, in total 15 hunters. I'm sure you guys are already aware, but due to the fatalities last week, the Hunters Association has decided to impose heavier restrictions to maximize safety for hunters. We've raised the number of hunters required to enter this gate which is why we're having a joint raid between the two guilds. A blond boy with a confident smile introduced himself. Nice to meet you guys. I'm the team leader of the Sangdong Guild, Im Chang-soo. Butler Kim Hwa-jong bowed. Greetings. I am the guild master of the Peace Guild, Kim Hwa-jong. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, Sangdong Guild. They're a well-known guild in the Bucheon district, boasting 20 billions rank hunters. But a young-looking guy like him is their team leader? He then used his chi sense and saw the level of Im Chang-soo, level 65. Damn, he's pretty strong. But why does his name sound so familiar? Where have I heard of him before? Miss Song Song glared at Im Chang-soo, who winked at her. Miss Song Song thought, what the hell was that just now? The officer cleared his throat. Ah, that's right. I forgot to mention Tess. The 2 hunters that died last week were CC rank tanks. And since you guys have an E rank hunter filling in the position of a tank, I hope that won't cause any complications. Butler Kim Hwa-jong assured them, this man has been a hunter for well over 20 years. He's a veteran. We've also provided him with adequate gear, so I'm sure there won't be any issues on our end. The officer nodded. Ah, I see. Being a veteran does have its merits. However, he glanced at Im Chang-soo, who nodded in acknowledgement. The officer continued, all right, sounds good to me. There are 7 B rank hunters participating in this raid. I'm sure there won't be any problems at all. Team leaders, please make sure to properly control your guild members. Leader Choi Min-woo sighed in relief. Looks like we're in the clear. Im Hyuk-jun exhaled. Whew, Hirin muttered. Why is there an E-rank hunter with us? Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, properly control us. The portal opened, and the officer said, let there be light. You may now enter the labyrinth of the Minotaurs. Jin Tae-kyung stepped into the portal, his heart racing as he prepared for what lay ahead. Jin Tae-kyung was shocked as he took in the vast space before him. He muttered to himself, I guess B-rank gates are pretty big. Leader Choi Min-woo used his skill to light up the space and spoke in a deep voice, let there be light, sounding almost like Gandalf the Grey. Im Hyuk-jun, amazed, said, whoa, a system notification chimed. Ding, you have entered the labyrinth of the Minotaurs. Your quest, clear a B-rank gate, has begun. Leader Choi Min-woo spoke again. Before we go any further, let's have a quick check on our gear. Jin Tae-kyung, thinking to himself, opened the quest window. A system notification chimed once more. Ding. Quest, clear a B-rank gate for the first time in your life. You have entered a B-rank gate. Upon successfully clearing this gate, there will be a bonus reward for first-time completion. Restriction, only for Jin Tae-kyung. Objective, clear a B-rank gate, incomplete quest reward. Unknown Jin Tae-kyung muttered to himself, this quest isn't all that bad. He chuckled under his breath, but then suddenly Im Chang-soo spoke up. What are you doing over there? You're Jin Tae-kyung from the Peace Guild, right? Jin Tae-kyung turned around confused. It's Jin Tae-kyung. Im Chang-soo blinked. Ah, right, Mr. Jang Tae-kyung. Jin Tae-kyung frowned. What the heck, is this guy deaf? Whatever, it's not like I'll be seeing him again after today. Jin Tae-kyung said, do you need something from me? Im Chang-soo's eyes widened with recognition. Ah, now that I'm closer, I can finally tell what it is. That's the Black Drake armor set, right? Leader Choi Min-woo, preparing to draw his sword, watched the exchange closely. Jin Tae-kyung spoke back to Im Chang-soo, who continued to chat with him. Meanwhile, some of Im Chang-soo's goons whispered amongst themselves before they all walked off. Jin Tae-kyung silently stood still, watching them leave. Leader Choi Min-woo turned to Jin Tae-kyung and asked, do you know him? Jin Tae-kyung shook his head. Nope, he just randomly started talking to me. Choi Min-woo frowned. Are you sure he wasn't trying to scout you? Jin Tae-kyung snorted. Hell no. I think he's just a gear geek like you. He was pretty interested in mine and even asked where I bought it. Leader Choi Min-woo seemed to consider that for a moment. That man. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. Why? Something wrong with him? Choi Min-woo nodded slowly. He's wearing a limited edition gear set. That armor is pretty hard to get. Jin Tae-kyung smirked, thinking, you two really like messing with me. Meanwhile, one of Im Chang-soo's goons muttered to him, why were you talking to that crappy guy back there, Chang-soo-hyung? Im Chang-soo replied casually, I just felt like it. He had pretty decent gear. The goon's eyes widened. Holy crap, you're right. Did he say that was his? Im Chang-soo rolled his eyes. Use your brain, you dumbass. Do you think a C-rank hunter like him could own a gear set like that? The goon hesitated. You're right. Then is he renting it? Im Chang-soo shrugged. Who cares? He's just trying hard to survive. How cute. He thought to himself, Since a no-name guild showed up out of nowhere wearing top-of-the-line gear, I was pretty interested in them. But just as IT thought, they're a bunch of nobodies. Even though I bribed the gate operator to get rid of them, I decided to let them join us because that girl is definitely my type. Miss Song Song approached, asking leader Choi Min-woo and Jin Tae-kyung, where did the two of you go? Im Chang-soo's eyes lingered on her as he thought. I believe she said her name was Song Song. If you have power and money, picking up girls during a raid is pretty damn easy, he mused. But in order for me to accomplish that, I'll have to get rid of that sleazy bastard first. I'll also get rid of that weak-looking C rank and take his gear. Wait for me, my Song Song. He drooled slightly at the thought. Im Chang-soo then called out, all right, let's get going. The goon responded, yes, sir. A few moments later, Im Chang-soo pointed. Oh, there it is. But wait, there's only one? The goon replied, looks like we won't need the ranged DPS to help us kill that bastard Chang-soo-hyung. Im Chang-soo grinned. Then hurry and get to it. The goon said, okay, let's go. The ugly man added, whoever suffers the least amount of injuries buys tonight's drink, all right? The man called out, hi, Rin. I'll be right back. Rin called after him, be careful. The ugly man scanned the area and said, looks like there's two of them now. His friend observed, that one looks smaller than the first one. You can kill it since it looks weaker. The balding man growled, the heck you talking about? Stop trying to act tough. The ugly man paused, confusion flashing across his face. Wait a second. Suddenly more Minotaurs appeared. Im Chang-soo was shocked. There's 8 of them. Leader Choi Min-woo turned to Jin Tae-kyung. What are your thoughts? Jin Tae-kyung frowned. I'm not sure, but I think it'll be pretty difficult for 4 people to take care of 8 Minotaurs. Leader Choi Min-woo asked, what about you? Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. Me? Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, the Minotaurs are B-rank monsters, with their level range being between mid to late 50s. Level 58 Minotaur warrior. I think that's equivalent to a second-rate warrior? No, it's closer to a first-rate warrior. If this were the Murim world, fighting them would definitely be troublesome. A system notification chimed. Item, Blackthorn's Meister Spear type, Spear rank, peak effect. Upon a successful direct hit, 90% chance to apply status effect, Hemorrhage. A spear crafted from the spine of a B-rank Black Drake. A very sturdy and sharp spear, crafted by a master crafter. Another system notification chimed. Item, Black Drake's Meister Armor set type, Armor rank, peak effect, 10 strength, stamina, agility, and sturdiness. An armor set made from the hide of a B-rank Black Drake, a high-quality set crafted by a master crafter. Full set effect is currently applied. Jin Tae-kyung thought to himself, but since I'm wearing this ridiculously overpowered gear, he glanced to the side, where leader Choi Min-woo was now close to him. Jin Tae-kyung stepped back, nervous, and said, I'm not too sure. Hee. Leader Choi Min-woo chuckled, not too sure. Interesting. Most C-rank hunters would never give that kind of answer. They'd flat out reject or ignore the mere prospect of the question I just asked you. Leader Choi Min-woo continued, I've always felt this, but you truly are a peculiar man, Mr. Jin Tae-kyung. Jin Tae-kyung stammered, that's not it, team leader. That wasn't the point I was trying to get at. Suddenly, Im Chang-soo laughed. Jin Tae-kyung and leader Choi Min-woo looked back, confused. Im Chang-soo grinned. You're absolutely correct. The more I hear him talk, the funnier he gets. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation since it was quite humorous. I hope you guys don't mind, he added, walking toward them. Im Chang-soo thought to himself, fucking dumbasses. Not only did he ask a C-rank hunter about killing 8 Minotaurs, but the C-rank himself wasn't able to give a clear answer. Looks like this is a good opportunity to get rid of them both. I'll make sure to humiliate them in front of my Song Song. Leader Choi Min-woo said, it was a simple question, no harm intended. Im Chang-soo replied, who cares if that's the case? My guys over there are pretty weak. People might praise them for being B ranks, but among all the B rank hunters, they're pretty much on the lower end of things. However, they're still far better than a CC rank hunter. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Jung Tae-kyung? Jin Tae-kyung answered flatly, yes, of course. Mr. Shit Chang-soo. Im Chang-soo's face darkened. His eyes narrowed, and he silently glared at Jin Tae-kyung, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. He snapped, what? He then exploded in anger. You fucking, did you lose your mind? Jin Tae-kyung smirked. What about it, you fucking bastard? How many times do I have to tell you that my name is Jin Tae-kyung? Im Chang-soo's temper flared. Let me remind you, we're inside a gate. Jin Tae-kyung shot back. No shit, you bastard. Im Chang-soo's face twisted with rage. So, if you truly care about your life, I suggest you shut your mouth right now. Jin Tae-kyung continued to mock him. Oh? Is that supposed to be a threat? I'm literally shaking in fear, Mr. Shit Chang-soo. At that moment, Butler Kim Hwa-jung intervened, stepping between them. Now, let's all calm down and take a breather. A girl watching from the sidelines asked, Ho, were they fighting? Another lady called out, Oppa, calm down. Miss Song Song approached, saying, Hey, now isn't the time for you to be doing this. Im Chang-soo's mood shifted suddenly. He smiled, his tone becoming smooth. Ah, yes, you're right. I'll let it slide for today. It won't look too good for a renowned Songdong Gilto be having a petty fight with a low-ranking hunter. Im Chang-soo turned back to Jin Ta-kyung and added, Oi, Jang Ta-kyung. Jin Ta-kyung's anger flared once more. You're still going to continue? Im Chang-soo grinned wickedly. Looks like you're feeling a little cocky with the gear you have. So why don't we do this instead? $500,000. I'll give you $500,000 per kill if you can solo that Minotaur herd. It'll be a total of $4 million. I'll even let you keep all of the monster drops as well. What do you think? Jin Tae-kyung was taken aback. $4 million. He made a confused face, then added, You're seriously going to give me that much money? $4 whole million. Im Chang-soo smirked. Giving it to you? Of course not. This is a bet. Should you die or flee from battle, the bet is off. And to make things interesting, let's also make it so that Miss Song Song joins the Sangdong Guild as well. Jin Tae-kyung's eyes widened in disbelief. Huh? What kind of bullshit are you spouting? Leader Choi Min-woo asked. What are your thoughts, Miss Song? Miss Song Song thought for a moment, then said, Me? Hye-rin, overhearing, whispered to her friend. Looks like his rotten habits are back. Her friend grimaced. Disgusting. Miss Song Song spoke again, her voice sharp. To put it bluntly, I despise greedy playboys. So he's definitely not my type. But it's not like I hate the Sangdong-gi either. Im Chang-soo's eyes sparkled with excitement. Really? Miss Song Song nodded. Yep, since I can always transfer to another guild. Im Chang-soo's excitement grew as he thought to himself, Song Song. She's just like I imagined. She's a total tsundere. But you should realize that it won't be easy to leave my guild once you join Im Chang-soo taunted. Suddenly, Leader Choi Min-woo spoke up. Fine, then allow me to participate in this bet as well. The higher the stakes, the more fun it is, no? I'm going to bet $4 million that Mr. Jin Tae-kyung will kill all 8 of those Minotaur warriors. Im Chang-soo let out a laugh. What a crazy bastard you are. Looks like one's excited to die while the other is a little too eager to waste their money. Leader Choi Min-woo smiled confidently. We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Jin Tae-kyung. What will it be? Jin Tae-kyung hesitated for a moment. But what if I lose this bet? Leader Choi Min-woo replied with certainty, No, you'll win. Jin Tae-kyung, his face hardening with determination, said, Fine, then I'll participate in this bet. Meanwhile, Im Hyuk-jun, listening from the back, was filled with worry. You're fucking crazy, bro. A C-rank hunter fighting 8 B-rank monsters? Looks like the greed for money has clouded both Butler Kim's and Leader Choi's judgment. Those sly Sangdong bastards. You guys need to cherish your lives more instead of risking them for some money. I have to do it. I have to stop them. As he ran toward his old friend, Jin Tae-kyung, suddenly he was shocked. Huh? Tae-kyung? When did he get over there? Wait, this is bad. The Minotaur roared in confusion. Moo? Jin Tae-kyung charged forward, swinging his spear. It's my first time fighting some cow monsters. The Minotaur charged toward Jin Tae-kyung, shouting, Roar! Jin Tae-kyung leaped into the air and cut the Minotaur cleanly in half, as though slicing through a potato. Im Hyuk-jun stood frozen in shock. Miss Song Song's jaw dropped. Leader Choi Min-woo and Butler Kim Hwa-jung just smiled, watching the spectacle. The Sangdong Guild boys were speechless, stunned by the sudden display of power. Jin Tae-kyung stood. But this isn't as hard as I thought it'd be. Im Chang-soo's confidence began to fade as he felt a dark presence around him, his nerves taking hold. Ah, fuck. There goes my $4 million. 2, 3, 4, 5. Jin Tae-kyung exhaled deeply, becoming serious. He put out his bare hands and scratched at the next Minotaur, slicing it in half. 6, 7. Jin Tae-kyung leaped again, and as the Minotaur roared, he struck the creature's weapon with his spear, cutting through it and the Minotaur with his strength. 8. He turned around, looking at the onlookers with a manic grin. Now, time for me to enjoy my delicious payment. A system notification chimed. Ding! Level up! A few moments later, Im Chang-soo dropped to his knees in defeat. Jin Tae-kyung looked down at him and smirked. So, let me get this straight. You're the Sangdong Guildmaster's son? Im Chang-soo sighed. Yes. Im Hyuk-jun, watching from the sidelines, muttered, No wonder you're packed with money. Jin Tae-kyung scoffed, but even still, who cares if you're the son of the Sangdong Guildmaster? You're only 25 years old. You think it's okay to disrespect your seniors? Answer me. Jin Tae-kyung stuck out his slithering tongue at Im Chang-soo, who trembled in frustration. Sorry. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. Ah, I was wondering where I heard your name before, so that's who you were. A hung I know told me about you. Since you're the Sangdong Guildmaster's son and a B-rank hunter, you were able to obtain a leadership position in your father's guild. But you're apparently the black sheep of the family, since you only chase after girls. One of the ugly men in Im Chang-soo's party muttered to himself. Ah, Shang Soo-hyung hates being called out like that. Jin Tae-kyung added, That's why your nickname was Greedy Piggy, right? Im Chang-soo's face twisted in anger, and he drew his sword. You fucking... Before he could finish, Jin Tae-kyung immediately kicked him in the face, sending Im Chang-soo sprawling. Ack! He cried out in pain. Ugh! Jin Tae-kyung pointed the bottom of his spear at Im Chang-soo's throat. His eyes were cold and serious. We're inside a gate, you little shit. Im Chang-soo's eyes widened in fear. That's what you said earlier. Did you forget already? Jin Tae-kyung's voice was full of menace. Then show it. Im Chang-soo stammered. Okay, wait, what? Jin Tae-kyung pressed on. You just drew your weapon on me. You don't know anything about the laws regarding attempted murder? He sneered. That's why I'm telling you to sincerely apologize to me and my guildmates. Im Chang-soo looked around, unsure. What do you mean? His guildmates avoided eye contact and pretended not to notice, with some of them coughing nervously. Im Chang-soo snapped. You fuckers. Butler Kim Hwa-jong covered his face, disappointed. To think the team leader of the Sangdong Guild would draw his weapon on us. Tisk, tisk. Miss Song Song crossed her arms and said, I guess he doesn't want to pay up after losing his bet. Wow, Mr. Chang-sui's such a scum. Wouldn't you agree, mister? Im Hyuk-jun sighed. Yeah, what a rotten youngster he is. Leader Choi Min-woo clapped his hands together, drawing attention. Okay, everyone, please take a look at this thing on my chest. This is a high-quality armor set that was created by a W-world-renowned crafter in Finland. Not only does it provide special attributes, but is also enchanted with recording-type magic, Im Chang-soo muttered under his breath. Shit. He finally sighed, defeated. Fine, I'll do it. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. Do what? Im Chang-soo grimaced. I'll do whatever you want me to do. A few moments later, they walked along the path of decapitated and deceased minotaurs. Jin Tae-kyung, leading his guild, forged ahead, with his guildmates following in his wake. Im Chang-soo muttered to himself, seriously, who the hell is Ha? He's definitely not a C-rank hunter. There's no C-rank in this world who could single-handedly annihilate 8 minotaurs. Is it possible that he's been doping? Or could he be a false ranker? In any case, I'll uncover the truth once we get out of this gate. The ugly man spoke up. Are you okay, Hyung? The balding man asked. Are you hurt anywhere? Im Chang-soo snapped. Shut the fuck up, you shitty bastards. How dare you sit back and not help out? The ugly man quickly replied, No, that's not it. It's just that we couldn't find the right timing to step in. Please forgive us. Im Chang-soo glared at him. Disloyal bastards. Get the fuck out of my sight. Just know you're all expelled from our guild when we get out of here. Another member whispered to himself, but I still haven't been paid for this month yet. A blonde sexy girl added, Who's going to accept us if we get kicked out of the Sangdong Guild? A man in the group sighed. I have a lot of bills to pay this month. The sexy lady pleading said, Please reconsider, Oppa. Please, we'll do whatever you want us to do this time. Please, Hyung. Im Chang-soo stopped and turned around, his cold gaze fixed on them. Anything? He glanced at the others, noticing their shocked expressions. Im Chang-soo's tone grew stern. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. We're soon going to enter the boss zone. The boss of this gate is the legendary Minotaur warrior. It's a B-rank monster, but its physical stats are equivalent to that of an A-rank monster. Even if Jin Tae-kyung is strong, I highly doubt he'll be able to handle a monster like that on his own. That's when we'll strike. Song Song, standing nearby, whispered, It's unfortunate, but it has to be done. You guys should be able to handle a healer on your own, right? If one of his guildmates is in danger, there's no way Jin Tae-kyung will be able to focus on his battle. Their guildmaster is a B-rank magician, so he'll be weak to close-range attacks. As for their E-rank tank, there's nothing for us to worry about. The one that's actually a threat is Choi Min-woo. In any case, I'll have to figure out a way to deal with him myself. Don't let me down. You know what will happen if you fail, right? The brunette girl nodded. Of course. The ugly man chimed in. Just trust us, team leader. No, Kang So-hyung. Im Kwang-soo smiled coldly. Hey, up ahead, Jin Tae-kyung called out. Hey, we're at the boss zone. Get your asses over here. Im Chang-soo looked behind at the others, his voice shaky. Aye, yes, sir. To himself, he added, Jin Tae-kyung, be prepared to face the consequences of humiliating me. Jin Tae-kyung stepped forward confidently, announcing, one strike. With a single motion, he created a huge hole in the Minotaur warrior, cutting it in half. A system notification chimed. Ding. You have eliminated the level 70 legendary Minotaur warrior. Ding. Level up. Ding. You have completed your quest. Clear a B rank gate. Ding. Calculating your contribution. Ding. Finished. Ding. For successfully completing your quest reward has been placed inside your inventory. Jin Tae-kyung stretched inside. Whew. You gotta go out with a bang in gates like this. Let's hurry and collect the loot and leave. I'm starving, right? As he turned to look back at his team, he saw Im Hyuk-jun, leader Choi Min-woo, butler Kim Hwa-jong, the ugly man, Miss Song-song, and the sexy lady, all staring at him in shock. Their jaws dropped, eyes wide with disbelief. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow, confused. What's wrong with you guys? Im Hyuk-jun replied in a stunned voice. You're seriously asking us that? Leader Choi Min-woo shook his head in awe. I had no idea you were capable of this much. Do you have some time to talk about this matter after our raid? Jin Tae-kyung grinned. Yes, later. Miss Song, do you think you can heal? Before he could finish, Miss Song turned to the ugly man and the sexy lady, eyes narrowing. What the hell are you guys doing over there? The two of them were shaking like twigs in fear, their faces pale. The ugly man stammered, Nothing. I just wanted to stand here. The sexy lady added, I just wanted to be with this pretty honey. Jin Tae-kyung turned to Im Chang-soo with a raised eyebrow. What's with your face? Are you hurt somewhere? Im Chang-soo, his face pale from fear and drenched in sweat, stammered. I'm feeling a little tired right now. To himself, he thought, he's a monster. Nothing good will come from messing with a person like him. Jin Tae-kyung clicked his tongue.
Just drink your potion.
Aren't you supposed to be stacked with money? Anyway, hurry up and collect the loot. I'm tired. A few moments later, outside the gate, the officer looked over the loot in disbelief. Wow, that's a lot of materials. Did you guys kill all the minotaurs in the labyrinth or something? How do you want to proceed with these loots? Butler Kim Hwa-jong replied, As you already know, we have two options. Either sell it yourself or entrust it to another vendor. Or, Kim Hwa-jong paused for a moment. Yes, we'll just sell it over to the supervising agency. Jin Tae-kyung turned to Im Chang-soo, grabbing him by the collar. What about the promised amount? Im Chang-soo stammered, I'll send it over. Jin Tae-kyung narrowed his eyes. When? Im Chang-soo hesitated, then mumbled, tomorrow. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. Tomorrow? With a sharp slap to the back of Im Chang-soo's head, he said, Oh, as expected of a rich boy. Here's my account number. You can transfer the funds there tomorrow. If you don't follow through, it won't be a fun time for anyone. Got that? Im Chang-soo, still shaken, nodded quickly. Yes, sir. Jin Tae-kyung nodded approvingly. All right, go on now. Take care. Im Chang-soo walked away, still trembling. Im Hyuk-jun watched him leave, then turned to Jin Tae-kyung with a skeptical look. Do you really think he'll send the money to you? Jin Tae-kyung gave him a knowing look. And what do you think will happen if he doesn't? Im Hyuk-jun raised an eyebrow. I mean, what can you do about it? The Sangdong Guild is well known and they have a lot of influence. If he sues you and presses charges against you. Jin Tae-kyung smirked. Oh, come on. We have proof of all the shit he did to us. Im Hyuk-jun shrugged. He can always find a way to get rid of the evidence. I'm only like this because I've heard some rumors from people. Jin Tae-kyung raised an eyebrow. What kind of rumors? Im Hyuk-jun leaned in closer and whispered, It's about Im Chun-soo, the Sangdong Guild Master. His nickname is Frozen. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, See you in the next video.